Hopefully things are looking better on your end this time, guys. Do let us know if they're not, and we'll try and adjust again before round three. Pairings for round two just went up, so we should have game two pretty soon here.
So let's talk about that first game in the meantime while we wait for the next games to go.
So there was a. You know what? I just realized something.
What's that?
Every card we saw was a block card on Trixie's deck.
No, that's not true. We saw Cutie Box Scare.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Never mind. Here I was thinking that was a block versus harmony deck. In which case, very kudos to the Trixie player. But you're right. There was Cutie Pox Scare. So, oh, looks like we've got folks showing up on stream here. From the voices, it sounds like we've got a female player on one side.
Mm-hmm. In Fluttershy sleeves for that deck, and it looks like it's going to be a Fluttershy.
Reformer. Fluttershy Reformer. So, I'm not going to lie, Fluttershy Reformer, I really like this main. And no, that is not a Smarty Pants joke.
I was going to ask if you really liked her main.
Reformer is, like, she has the small problem that she needs to confront to flip, but her flip ability is really, really powerful when you build around it properly. She is the only main that can use Carbo Loader while also using, what is the card? Nightmare Star without the two interfering with each other. Because if you don't need the Carbo Loader, you can just have Nightmare Star out there, and if you do, you just move Fluttershy, Nightmare Star, and there you go. Now your Carbo Loader works. The ability to turn on and off Troublemakers at will is really interesting, and it allows her to farm epics in a way that no other main can quite as effectively. Now there is Appaloosa, which also turns off the Nightmare Frighten effectively, but Appaloosa can be mucked with more easily than a main can, of course.
Of course. And we still haven't seen the main on the opposite side, but we're seeing white as at least somewhat of a color.
That might be a promo of some, or no, that's not the promo, but
it looks like it is going back in the box.
It does. It is going back in the box. So we have. Oh, hello. Oh, that looks like Bluna.
Yes, it does.
Possibly because it is Bluna.
Imagine that.
They do seem to be confused, though. They seem to think that's Princess Cadence.
And even Bluna sits there looking at Fluttershy, trying to figure out exactly what this main does.
Yes. So now Fluttershy clearly has some Troublemaker strategy going, right?
Well, you basically are either banking on an entirely Troublemaker dominant meta, or far more likely looking to accelerate your own point total. Because unlike a card like Friend to Animals, where you can leverage AT advantage, either through movement or playing a Friends to try to get multiple problems, Fluttershy just doesn't have the speed to match up against some of the other aggro decks that we've seen in the past.
Correct.
So we'll have to see what Reformer is capable of doing here. And my guess is also, along with you, playing some epic Troublemakers that'll be relatively easy to defeat.
Mm-hmm. Now, she can even challenge, since you mentioned epic, she can actually challenge Starlight Glimmer with her full power, which is another thing that Applejack can't do. So, you can use that as counter to Applejack while also not having it punish your Fluttershy. So like I said, she's a very versatile main, and I really like her, and it looks like secondary color there is blue. I saw the hard way.
Ooh, interesting. So, with the hard way in there, that's not one you can use on your own troublemakers. This might be something just built to predict the meta.
Maybe.
We'll
I saw
have to
a
see.
wildfire there.
Not too unusual. Now, one interesting thing Fluttershy could be trying to do is using a reliable racer to just get a higher power total than any troublemakers.
There's an
Tyrek.
epic. Yeah, Tyrek.
And it looks like maybe an Owizodal at the other end as well. Difficult to tell.
It looks like a troublemaker of some sort.
All right, Fluttershy is up first, drawing a
There's
Trixie.
a Trixie. Now, so Trixie and Fluttershy is really interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of a fun combination.
Friends turn on, friends turn off. Friends turn on, friends turn off.
Yeah, because Trixie doesn't shut down main characters, she will end up losing that effect, so.
Yes. Even if she did, the Fluttershy would win.
Yes.
So Bluna is doing what Bluna's going to do.
Yep, moves, drops a spike, so we are seeing white as a secondary for Bluna, which was kind of something we were expecting.
Yeah, I expect RTOs. Are you expecting Night Gliders as well?
Yes, I think if you're going to go the point acceleration route, you're going to use every tool at your disposal. And that means RTO and Night Glider, and maybe even some Storm of Justice. Although with RTO in there, you probably have to bank a little heavier on your white entry, so that event might be one of the first things I drop.
Yeah, my personal blue-white deck, which I've honestly been a little displeased with, doesn't run Night Glider just because I wanted more room for answers, your dressed-ups and your Rutherfords and all of that stuff. And I just didn't quite have the room. Were I to go back to that, I'm not quite sure what I would add. Probably photo, oh goodness.
Yep.
So that's a lot of cards and a lot of points on Chris's end, and we're still seeing only Fluttershy on Summer's end.
Yep, when
She does have
RTO...
5 action tokens, though.
Yes, that's true. An RTO down on turn 2 is nothing to be upset about. Or turn 3, I'm sorry.
Yes.
And
I
yellow...
think we're seeing that Owizodal. Oh, Makeover. What color was that? Was that blue?
Probably a
white.
blue. We'll have to see. I see a Fluttershy backup vocals in hand.
Yes.
We are seeing Under Lock and Tree. This is the second time we've seen that as a starting problem.
Said that made a misplay with the Makeover.
Naming the wrong color or didn't mean to play?
I don't know. Yes.
Flipping Luna back over.
Interesting.
Now this
it does look like Makeover wasn't intended to be played there.
Now, I'm not entirely sure if I would have gone to flip Luna here. While it does mean that in order to get Luna boosted again, he will have to play a friend unnecessarily to that problem, he's going to be moving up RTO anyway, and Under Lock and Tree has a wild requirement, so he's more than capable of just confronting and using the RTO trick turn after turn.
That's what I would do in this situation.
We'll see if he takes the bait, though, and tries to flip Luna, and he does.
Oh.
Although he does have 3 ATs, so 1 for Aloe and 2 to move RTO back up.
Yep.
Not sure I would have used the Aloe there, but we'll have to see.
He definitely had enough to confront without the Aloe. So that's 0 to 5 now.
And at this point, I fully expect to see some of those troublemakers come down if possible.
I'm honestly surprised one didn't hit play last turn. But I think that might have been what she expected to do instead of the makeover, and she might have picked the wrong card.
That may have been the case. Or maybe she was expecting to play an event.
Okay, castle. If you're going to play castle, you want to play it early. It is expensive.
Looks like maybe a Chrysalis as the other troublemaker. So we see a Chrysalis, a Lord Tyrek, and a Trixie.
I think Trixie's hidden play here. I think that was Tricky.
We will have a look. Back to Luna over here, still at 3 AT. Bit unusual for what we're seeing for Luna games, but this is the way things will go for the foreseeable future anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're Luna here, what are you thinking when you see that troublemaker hit the field?
Huh. See, now, if I had that aloe, I would have... Oh, no, because Luna wasn't flipped. That's right. So, I'm not... if I... Playing 3... Yeah, just score while you can, and then deal with it later.
Yeah, it does push players gaining AT up to 4.
Yeah, exactly. And when you've got a 7-point lead, you can afford to be a little bit patient.
Yeah, but as we saw with Applejack last game, there's no guarantee that that's going to stick around. A Trixie does come down, no friends.
Trixie.
Yeah, there's the white entry frightened.
Well, not the RTO.
Well, that's true.
So we're up to 5 action tokens for summer here.
Now, I thought I saw a second castle in hand. I may have been mistaken there. Looks like it's an angel.
Now, Angel's good call here because the calming is going to make it that much harder for Bluna.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Now, it is interesting to know that one of the great things that Fluttershy has is, like you said, the ability to... and I'm trying to remember her boosted side. Is it they lose abilities, or you can confront as though they weren't preventing you?
That one is the Troublemakers lose abilities. Like I said, that's why you can have the Nightmare Star and the Carbuloader in the same deck. You can have turn on Trixie, turn off Trixie.
Now, this is very helpful here because with the Troublemakers losing abilities, though they will retain Epic, which is a trait, they will lose Villain, which is a keyword, which means that the friends that are being played there to defend that problem will not be frightened.
Will not be frightened, correct. So there's no Troublemaker there right now, so...
And it looks like Fluttershy was able to get a point in confronting over there.
So, yeah, yes. So... With 5 action tokens and a 2 bits in hand, but the calming 2, Bluna has to wonder, can I even confront that problem? And if I can, is it worth it?
Oh, he's more than capable of confronting that problem. He can simply move Luna and RTO. That's an Underlock and Tree.
That's only 6. Underlock and Tree needs 7.
Ah, so it does.
Now, if you had a 3-power friend in hand, like, say, Spitfire, then he could do that.
So, without the ability to easily confront, Rutherford, Angel going down.
Oh, yeah, so... Does Rutherford get the power in that case?
So
I believe Angel still fires, so Rutherford still has no power.
That's correct. Yeah, triggers will use last known information.
So Bluna won't confront here.
That's correct.
Well, not off of Rutherford.
But with a 2 bits dismissed, an RTO.
So that's not quite enough power.
Nope, he's still going to be 1 shy.
So he thinks he's scoring, though.
We should try to get that corrected if we can. We'll see if we can get that, otherwise we'll just move beyond that point. And it looks like that was reforming a Draconicus? No, that's the problem. Yep, and we do have a correction from the floor judge. We'll just bear with the judge as they resolve this situation here for a moment.
Need to make a ruling here.
There's a number of things that could be done.
Shuffled, so
yeah, shuffles
could just shuffle it back in.
Yeah, we don't know any other card positioning in the deck, so that would probably be an easy fix. Looking to try to get back to the same board state if possible.
I'm not sure that's what I would have done here, because I would have just played with that still being on the top or shuffled the deck. I don't like
trying
rewinding
to
the turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a bit more convoluted than it needed to be. Okay, Rutherford for 0, triggering Luna's move.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. You're able to get back to the same...
Could be worse.
Yeah, able to get back to the same board position. And, I mean, at least at this point, Fluttershy does have the advantage of additional knowledge against the Luna player with the second RTO in hand. And this is interesting. I somewhat expected to see this card. I can't remember the exact name of the event, but it's when one of your troublemakers is defeated, you may play this event to put that troublemaker back into your hand. So definitely the strategy
that card doesn't exist.
I believe that was from Absolute Discord. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Rehabilitation. And yes, that card does exist. Reaction after one of your troublemakers is put into the discard pile from play, put that card into your hand.
Oh. Okay.
But
there's enough cards now that I can't remember them all.
That's alright. That's what I'm here for. Regardless, that was not actually the card that we saw played there. Or flipped.
No. Applebeam, that is his discard pile.
So once again, we see a similar start to a match where one deck is just able to get a very large point lead early against a slower, more control deck. And it's difficult to set up that wall. The Trixie is helping to prevent DFOs, which can certainly make it harder to use a Night Glider, but with an RTO on the field and another RTO in hand, it's not going to be easy to come back.
Well, you missed about 1.5 rounds so far, Final Sight.
Another Angel coming down. Still one at home frightened. And we do have 2 Castles of Friendship here, so once again, This is very similar to the first match. Slower deck trying to leverage that AT advantage.
It does look like Fluttershy's having some entry problems, though.
Yeah, that misplay of Makeover earlier is probably hurting quite a bit right now. I think I see a true friend in hand. Yeah, Wildfire and RTO, it's a very powerful combination. Playing a tank, processing triggers.
Interesting. Tank. I wouldn't think to run Tank in a Bluna deck.
That card looting effect on tank is still quite strong. In the event the opponent can somehow prevent your Luna from flipping through a variety of different means, which admittedly we haven't seen a whole lot of, I can understand maybe running a few. I don't think I'd run an entire playset.
So is Fluttershy going to challenge 5 versus 6 here? Nope.
Nope, just going to gain some AT and keep moving. We know she's got other troublemakers in hand. She is well posed to be able to set up a wall as long as Luna doesn't draw into Epic Win. Or, you know, cracking the case if that was out. It's a
that's
resource.
vexing, yes.
There we go.
So I think you play Chrysalis here. Well, no, you could be afraid of the Epic Win, so maybe play the Owizodal?
I might rather play the
There's a
Turek,
barrel.
actually.
There's a barrel.
Alright, now we'll see some interesting things. There we go, we've got blue. So 3 blue requirement, now met. Oh, and that looks like a little strong heart.
Yeah, that does look like a little strong heart.
And a skunk.
Oh, that will reduce Trixie's power. Ooh, I think she's trying to challenge her own troublemaker here.
Yep. We will need... That is not an opposing troublemaker. That is your troublemaker. So, unfortunately, that particular interaction... No, opposing does not refer to whether or not it's epic. It only refers to ownership. And we've got a judge call here.
Looks like they're calling a judge to resolve this.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been a number of cards that have been worded specifically like this to only affect opposing troublemakers, specifically to prevent events like this from happening.
I believe there's currently no way to challenge your own.
You are correct. There almost have been. I have made sure there are not.
So still moving friend to both problems.
Now that is a little bit unfortunate because you can see that the deck has actually been constructed around that particular type of idea.
It does look like that, yes. And the fact that she was unsure herself does seem to indicate that the creator of the deck, whether it was her or a friend of hers, had that idea.
Yeah, and we do have the points updated now. Sorry about that. Returning Fluttershy Reformer, or Fluttershy backup vocals with Singing Barrel. She is a Ponyta. Oh, and there's the epic win. And that's basically going to be...
So confronting with Joe wins the game here?
Yep.
That's a bit of a bummer.
That is. So we'll just check and make sure he sees the play on board and that Fluttershy doesn't have any particular tricks in
Does
hand.
he have the AT?
Well, no, this is actually still okay because Fluttershy has the Vexing resource.
Oh, that's a good point. But I guess he has 2 AT left, correct? Still, what I would do is I would move RTO up and force the Vexing resource to pop.
Oh, definitely. Well, it's either that, or try to play a useful friend over to the other problem that would provide enough power with Luna moving, which is really just going to be Aloe at this point. And even that's not enough. No, that is.
Okay,
That's enough.
so it looks like he's just trying to confront right now. Oh, and the problem was not used. So he'll have all of that AT to try and confront either problem.
Yeah, so was he not able to meet that requirement? Was he shy by 1?
Oh, you're right. He's shy by 2, in fact. No, yeah, 1, just 1. So he decided not to try and pop.
I guess he's trying to force a catch-22.
That's a lot of action tokens.
It is. We'll have to see what can happen.
Okay, Fluttershy is blue.
Might have still chosen to play the Singing Barrel here, but Makeover's fine. So Little Strong Heart hitting the field. Still only capable of contributing 1 of its colors.
Right now, yes.
Bugle, we've got a little echo. Oh, never mind, it's fixed. True Friend looking to maybe move?
I think that was buffing all characters.
Ah, okay. And a call in the Dream Cavalry.
So I think we're seeing a DFO here. No, I think that's slightly short on the skunk. Or on the lock and tree. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if rally the friend there, that'll be enough.
Yep.
So now,
and a Cloud Chaser.
That will do it because the Cloud Chaser does receive the benefit even though True Friend came out afterwards.
Correct.
So it's 2 points.
Yep, 1 for confronting, 1 for the problem effect.
That should have actually started a face-off. That should have started a DFO.
Maybe not quite enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Because there's all you need 7. The skunk is 2, Cloud Chaser is 2, and Angel is 3.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the specific wording of True Friend.
It says your friends get +1 power, so it should affect all friends throughout the turn.
Yep. Well, that's an easy misunderstanding. It's not necessarily the most intuitive situation. Although, to be fair, I'm not sure that DFO would have gone particularly heavy in Fluttershy's favor.
I think it would have been 1 more point.
Oh, sure. But then 2 fresh problems and the Vexing resource being gone for Luna.
Well, the RTO was going to solve it anyway.
That is true. Yeah, and with a final point total of 15-4, it looks like Chris is going to win this game over Summer.
Unfortunately, yes. Like I said, I really, really do like Reformer. I wish we could have seen her come online, but it looks like the draws were just not with her that game.
Yeah, a little bit of a misunderstanding there, either during deck construction or during deck play, in regard to what opposing means. And for all our viewers out there, opposing is not referring, when it refers to troublemakers.
Opposing simply means something that the opponent controls.
Correct. For this reason, you cannot epic win your own troublemaker, you cannot the hard way your own troublemaker, you cannot a true friend your own troublemaker, as we saw this game. And so I have to wonder how this will affect Summer's play strategy over the rest of the tournament here.
Oh yeah, right, because you need 2 of both, right?
I'm assuming that she actually had a successful first round appearing here up against Bluna as well, so clearly something in her deck is working quite well. And we'll wish both players the best of luck over the rest of the tournament here. So we didn't really see anything especially unique in the Bluna deck apart from the tank drop, which was a little interesting. But we saw how it was able to leverage RTO to great success in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that is something that we expected to see as soon as the rules announcement went live.
Who should have initiated the double face-off? Me or...
Yeah, that was my mistake. I miscalculated it for them.
Looks like maybe a small miscalculation in Little Strong Heart's power.
I don't play with makeover that much, so I don't really know.
So.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes, explaining the makeover situation. She said that because requirements work different for play than for confronting.
Right.
I can't remember. Strongheart, is it 1 blue and 1 yellow, or is it 2 blue, 1? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2.
Yeah. I think she had enough yellow, but even...
Oh, but her main wasn't flipped. That's what it was.
Right, but wasn't she playing under Lock and Tree as her starting problem?
Yeah, she was at Lock and Tree, so she should have had enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she was at Lock and Tree when she played the makeover. And
no, she was. She
she
moved to Lock and Tree turn 1. But I think it's just a confusing interaction that she just was not aware of.
It could definitely be the case.
Yeah, I got a lot of
So our friendly judge is simply explaining to her so she knows for the future. Thank you for that, Arcat. So, time hasn't been called yet, so we've got a little bit before Game 3. Do you want to talk about spoilers?
Yeah, let's talk about some spoilers here.
So, the episode today...
No. Spoilers.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't talk about those spoilers. But we have had a few more cards released over the past while here.
Have you seen
including
anything?
a lot of new problems. Specifically 2 very, very, very interesting starting problems.
Yep, which have, of course, been generating quite a bit of discussion among the community. Why don't you go ahead and go into those a bit?
So, I'm honestly not sure which one is more interesting to me, so I'll just talk about them in the order that they were spoiled. The first one we got was, if at the start of your turn, if you did not go first this game, you gain 1 additional... If you did not go first and it is your first turn, you gain 1 additional action token. So you can't do this every single turn. That would be ridiculous.
Yes, it would.
So that's interesting because it helps mitigate the first turn advantage a little bit.
Right.
Because you gain not only an extra card, you gain an extra action token as well. So that's almost like a free turn.
It's almost it's not almost a free turn because you're losing a card draw and you're losing the other action token you would have gained. Well, so it's about a third of a turn.
Well, you're getting the action token, or you're getting the card draw that first player did not get. So you're getting... So their first turn, they have 2 action tokens. You have 3 and a card.
I see what you're saying.
So you have 2 additional resources.
Yeah, so it's a little less than a turn.
It's a little bit less. So, but here's the thing. Because it is a starting problem, that means if your deck's strategy requires a specific starting problem, you can't use this problem.
Right. Well,
For
you
example,
you can. You're just not going to get the benefit of it.
well, yes. But if your deck really, really needs, say, Underlock and Tree because your main is a little slow to flip and you need that 2 power, this is not the problem for you. If you need Ancient Research because your Princess Twilight, not the problem for you. So, it's interesting that this will give a little more weight to some of the more, some of the lesser used mains, because most mains that aren't named DJ Palm 3 have a very specific problem that they want to start with, at least the ones that we're seeing in competitive play right now.
Right.
But then your things like, say, Spike, or Orange Luna, or even Pink Discord, right? Some of these might see play now that they can get that slight advantage off of their starting problem when they didn't really have a starting problem that was going to help them terribly much. So I kind of think that's a good thing.
It is interesting to see. Underlock and Tree, as we've noticed, has seen a tremendous amount of play over the last few months or so since its introduction in Set 6, because it does provide a very efficient method of getting that one extra power that's often necessary for entry into other cards.
Yes. So now, Final Sight did mention that this allows for a turn 1 Bluna flip. Pay 2 to move her, then play an Aloe, for example. So that is a thing that we could see, but I think Bluna typically wants the consistency of the second power more than she wants the AT in 50% of her games. And it is only 50% because you must decide whether or not... you have to figure out... sorry. You must choose your starting player before you figure out who's going first.
Right.
So you can't go, oh, I'm going second, let me choose my going second problem.
Right. Because starting problems are determined before first player is determined, you're basically taking a gamble if you're playing this problem. At its absolute worst, it's totally lost, which we already have in game. At its best, like you said, you're getting about 3/4 of an extra turn in terms of value off of it. Well, value combined with the draw for going second.
With the draw, yes. Going second is a lot less of a disadvantage at that point. So, I think we'll see this in some decks. Vinyl decks that don't use Deep Dark Forest might use this, just because Vinyl is all about resource gain, and hey, that's a resource.
Right. Or, Goof Off.
Might use Goof Off, yeah. I think the Apple vendor decks, at least the ones that aren't searching for I need answers, will also like this problem. But yeah, it's an interesting problem. I think it will see some play. I don't think it will see massive amounts of play. So how about that other problem?
Now you'll have to be specific.
So the other starting problem, the other colorless starting problem that we've seen,
yes,
is interesting for a large number of reasons. Not the least of which is that it is the first card with no flavor. No, not the first card. It is the first problem with no. It's actually not. There is one other problem that has no flavor text. Precisely one. But it's the only card that we've seen spoiled from MT that does not have flavor text right now. There are a few cards, most of them are ultra rares that don't have flavor text.
Right.
But yes.
It does have some interesting implications for what you're able to do with your deck and your main character, especially in regard to other colors.
So, what it does is, when it is uncovered and this count, or when it's put into play and putting your starting problem into play counts as putting it into play, you can choose a second color. Well, you can choose a color and your main is that color as long as that problem is in play. as soon as your first turn happens.
Right. Because, of course,
So-
you have to wait for priority windows.
Right. So this can allow you to skip some entry. Now you do need to play those other friends quickly,
Oh, sure.
because you don't know if the opponent's going to Snips and Snails or DFO or whatever that problem away, and if you haven't used your second color, you've lost it.
There
But that
is...
does allow you to use one rec, or in some cases even 3 rec power in your off color very quickly. This has very interesting implications with Pink Discord.
The
Suddenly
character
you can
that starts
play-
on his three bonus side?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
So suddenly you can play things with high requirement, low cost in your secondary color turn 1.
Now, there's an even more interesting implication here in my mind, apart from Pink Discord, although he, as we know, cheats dramatically in the game.
He does.
That is that we've seen such prevalence of underlock and tree as a starting problem that if you are banking on your opponent playing that, if you're banking on going up against Luna, who effectively has to play this as your starting problem, you can say, okay, opponent, I'll take advantage of your choice, and I'll take advantage of my choice, and I'll get the
Yes.
benefit of 2 entry requirement in both of my colors, or 2.
Of course, like I said, you do have to be quick.
Oh, sure.
So there's also another really interesting thing about this problem, and a lot of people spotted it right away. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
It is easier for your opponent to confront this problem than it is for you, with 5 on your side and 4 on their side. We haven't seen that since, I think, Premiere. I think there are 3 problems in Premiere. Monster of a Minotaur, and I think 2 more. That had 7 on your side and 6 on their side, which is an unusual.
I believe Monster of a Minotaur, or whichever problem that
had
was with
7
Fluttershy,
and
actually...
4 on
yeah,
their
4,
side.
I was going to say. So that is definitely interesting in that it is easier for your opponent to confront. And the question is it worth it?
No, Shun, the extra color is not permanent. It only is true while the problem is played, because when the problem is not in play, it loses that ability.
Yeah, it's because of the paragraph break in the text
Correct.
on the card.
If it was 1 line, then it would be permanent, but it is 2 lines. And if you put a spring step there, then the opponent loses that color as well. Spring step, incidentally, is one of my favorite background ponies.
And I'm sure there's no possible implications of that card.
Well, I just like what she looks like. She's very bouncy and happy, and she's got a cool color scheme. Granted, I would have no idea who she was if it wasn't for the card game.
That's right.
But the card game has... one of the things I really like about the card game is it introduces you to a lot of background ponies you might not have really considered much before. And since they're a static image, they're all you're looking at, and you can go, this is actually a really pretty pony. And a Spring Step is actually on 2 cards, not only the Spring Step card, but also the Pinkie Pie Distracting Cheerer.
Yes.
Affectionately known in some circles as Cloud Burner.
Now,
The text on that card is amazing.
Now, I have to tell you, while those 2 problems that we've seen so far have definitely been interesting and have implications for what we could see for starting problems come set 7, it's actually not the problem I'm most excited about seeing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The problem I am most excited about seeing, specifically because of a deck I play, is Entrance Exam.
Entrance Exam, huh?
Yep, and I'll tell you why. Entrance Exam, for those of you in chat, is a 2 purple, 4 wild wreck on your side, 7 wild wreck on your opponent's side, 1 bonus problem, that has main phase, exhaust your main character to gain 1 action token.
I can only do that with Twilight. Why would I ever want to use this?
Ah, because of timing. You see, Twilight can only exhaust when you put a card on top of your deck, and more commonly is going to happen at the start of your turn due to Meticulous or Ancient Research triggers. But in a deck that's using Twilight during the Troublemaker phase, say challenging your own Epic Troublemakers, you don't necessarily want to lose all that power of Twilight being there. So being able to play Epic Troublemakers, challenge them with Twilight, get the benefit of that power and other tricks to defeat them, then set up another Troublemaker, maybe with Bell Tower to flip it immediately, and use Twilight in the main phase, that AT becomes quite valuable.
Oh yes, absolutely. So this is an argument that I've seen on various places before, that it's like, oh, well, you're just going to put this in your Twilight decks, and Twilight already does that, why would you want this? That scenario is exactly why. Also, Twilight is not the only purple main in the game.
This is correct. And with only
a 2 purple,
Yep,
you
exactly.
could put this in colors or index that Twilight isn't, or purple isn't even your main in general. So yeah, I do think that card is fairly interesting. The very similar one for pink, I also quite like, where you exhaust your main to put a 1 power Earth Pony into play.
Sure, that one can be a lot of fun, with also a very large requirement on your opponent's side.
Yes, and that, as we all know, Earth Ponies are currently the most powerful trait in the game, due to things like Carbo Loader, things like Rock Slide, and things like Tall Tail in conjunction with Penny Lane.
Sure.
So, free Earth Ponies will help a large number of decks.
Absolutely. And we might even expect decks that have typically been running some kind of combo engine with DJ to consider playing either that pink problem like you're talking about, or even Entrance Exam themselves. Because you don't always want to draw additional cards, but having the ability to exhaust DJ to gain an extra action token...
Yes. Or another friend. Yeah, because sometimes a guaranteed 1 power friend is more valuable than a card you don't know. Like if you're 1 power short from confronting, there you go. Free friend.
That's right. So definitely some very interesting problems that we think are going to have
I
a
know
big
that,
impact.
Matt. I know who's on stream. And I am looking forward to this.
So who are we looking at here?
So, on the left is featuring this lovely Eevee Matt of Eevee cosplaying all of its evolutions.
Oh, that's
is
quite good.
Ponkapo, who filled in for you last time.
Hello, Bonkapo. I will try to live up to the standard that you set for me after my standard was long forgotten.
Yes. I don't know who's on the right, but I do know what deck Ponkapo is using, and I am looking forward to it being on stream.
Oh, I think I'm familiar with this one as well. This should be exciting.
Oh yes, I will make fun of you every time you mess up your Meticulous, Ponka.
Now, as a reminder to our players on the stream, we did mention this earlier. For the purposes of Everfree, the judges are allowing Ancient Research to work as it was intended, as the officials have stated. So you are able to flip Twilight using Ancient Research.
Yes.
You're going to get roasted. I'm gonna get roasted, I know it.
Oh, we've already got the trash talking beginning.
Like, it didn't really matter because I already won the game at that point. So it didn't really matter that I forgot to do Meticulous, but still.
So he's won at least one. Do we know if this is the winner table?
I believe so. I believe they're playing...
So that would mean he has won 2.
I don't necessarily have a main from the player on the right yet. Not quite sure.
Snake eyes after snarking on you, right? Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. So that problem doesn't give us any indication. We still haven't seen a main on the right here.
Alright. Cut me.
And there we go. Looks like it's friend to animals.
Friend to animals.
Oh, keep.
So, if you saw that hand, it might look weird.
Let's see, taking a peek here. Looks like an Aloysius.
Aloysius, a paper twilight, and uh-oh, a troublemaker, and some more purple cards.
What a surprise.
So I see a Pee-wee in FTA's hand.
Yeah, Pee-wee's been one of those critters that we've definitely been looking at as replacing cards like Winona.
Be proud of them while you can, because you're gonna
Get that friend to animals flipped early. And there's definitely some attractive one-cost critter friends coming in set 7. Battle Snakes immediately comes to mind. And a double Falcon.
Falcons! All of the Falcons. And Pee-wee for a free Fluttershy flip. And do you think there's 5 power there?
There might be 5 power there. I'd have to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
So, do you think Ponka's going to forget to flip his main?
Let's find out. I did in the online
Ancient
tournaments.
research.
No, he's got it.
Flipping Twilight. Okay.
Yeah, I actually forgot in the most recent online Harmony
That's
tournament.
another paper Twilight. So, gain 1. Can't play that other one, but that's going to be a lot of AT gain in a moment here.
You expecting the Troublemaker?
I would play it.
Scare all those birds?
I know that FTA has Pee-wee, so I'd rather not lose that action token, and I do want to get Troublemakers out.
Looks like he is just going to pass the turn, though.
He did pass turn. That's a fast food.
That's an interesting choice. I actually prefer Conductor's Baton, but we'll have to see.
He might be running both.
This is true.
Okay, so that's up to 2 points. Yeah. Oh, that is Lunatic Song. Okay. So I actually know both of these players.
Oh, sure.
It's Lunatic Song XIV. These are both IRC members, for those of you who frequent IRC. So, did you see that card?
The one you just drew?
Yes.
Yes, I did. There's another paper Twilight. Let's see if he can get some entry to play it. Oh my goodness, all 3 papers.
So, this might be a lot of action tokens a turn.
Yep.
So, yes. This is a
Zipperwill.
3-color deck. This is a 3-color deck that I designed a while back. I was intending to play it at Everfree, so I'm glad that someone else has managed to brought it to Everfree in my stead. This is a Zipperwill deck. You might have heard me rave about her on stream in the past.
And Fluttershy playing a Troublemaker here.
I'm expecting that to be Glimmer.
Glimmer would make sense.
So the fast food won't help in that case.
I could also see an Orimaspi. It might be a bit unusual. But Glimmer would definitely make the most sense. You've got to get that point acceleration.
Meticulous 4 is pretty ridiculous.
That one's going to go on top. No exhaust of Twilight.
You can't do that until he resolves all the triggers. So, he might have a mountain of action tokens. For those watching at home, this is turn 4.
What did I do?
Everything.
I'm sure I did.
Everything.
Makeover.
Here's the
There's
yellow.
yellow.
I choose that and make it yellow.
Choose that.
Yeah.
That.
Princess Twilight Sparkle, referred to as that.
I got 3 paper twice. Second, 2 in my opening hand, and the third one was like.
Yeah, when you're starting off with 3 paper Twilights, it's difficult not to get excited. Looks like we got a brief interruption in the stream here.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering if that happened to you as well. Okay, yeah, it came back. That's good.
And there's the Zipper
Zipper
Will.
Will.
Zipper Will's a fun card. Whenever a critter, whenever one of your critters
So
enters
there's an
play
owl.
here. Yep, owl will do it. That's a critter.
I would move not Fluttershy. Well, actually, I would move Fluttershy.
Move a falcon home.
No, she's confronting regardless. So
I'm playing owl to
so now he has 5 Meticulous and Ancient Research.
Alright,
Do you think this is silly yet?
I haven't seen a Moon Dancer yet. I'll let you know.
There is no Moon Dancer in the deck.
It could be sillier.
pay 2 action tokens to play Owlicious.
6 Meticulous.
6 okay. The maximum Meticulous this deck can get is 7. He is at 6. And Ancient Research.
I think he might have a little bit of top deck manipulation here.
I know what I did.
Ponka's trash talking the stream.
It's okay, I have 3 paper twice.
Sure.
So, would you feel happy in a situation like this?
I wouldn't know what to expect, in all honesty.
And I'm gonna go ahead and challenge Curiosity.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
That will get him 2 prepared, though it looks like he forgot. Critter Cavalry? Critter Cavalry?
Nope. Looks like he's just
No?
going to let that
Okay.
tank go. And so we do see blue as a secondary color for Fluttershy here.
But yes,
Worked out.
Ponka did forget to get his 2 prepared action tokens, which is, yes, the 3rd ability that Paper Twilight does have.
Come on, Ponka, remember your triggers.
Yes.
Second time we've seen Skunk.
Skunk, 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 skunk. So that's actually 5 power.
Am I?
Where's Fluttershy going, do you think? To fight Aramosby next turn?
Probably.
That is nice. Sure.
Looks like he's just leaving it there. Gonna take another point.
I gained 2 AT when you challenged me.
Oh, now he remembers to prepared. Yes, I did.
Are you done? Oh my god. I blame being on stream.
You cannot blame being on stream, Ponka. That's not how this works.
1, 2, 3.
You must perform at your absolute best when others are watching,
Trigger 1.
lest we ridicule you endlessly.
So, when your Meticulous is that high, you need to make split-second decisions. Do I want this card? Yes, no. Because you need to just burn through those cards.
I guess I need it.
So we're seeing white as a secondary color, or as a tertiary color.
Yes. Yes, this is a 3-color deck. Which is why the barrels are very important. As is the 1 copy of Makeover.
Are you trying to make use of photo finish?
There are 2 photo finishes in the deck.
Okay.
There's also a far more important card,
Harsh Judge?
which I will let be a surprise.
Okay. I'll just start guessing random white cards until I can get it.
Where are they? Oh my god.
Oh,
He's looking for it. Well, he's looking for a few different things right now.
K1, put that.
So what do you make of all these yellow-blue decks that are now coming down? You think they're trying to take advantage of the problem that gets you an extra point when you confront it?
I think part of that is true. I think True True Friend is just a ridiculous song. It is, in my opinion, the best song in the game right now.
It is very good.
I would rather you not.
So,
I'll score 1 point on your turn.
Yep. With Furball coming down, we've got 2 critters entering play. That's 2 triggers on Zipper Will and 2
so
friends being moved
Ponka is
home.
now at 2 points. So he's only a point behind, and he's got massive action token advantage right now, I'd say.
Looks like I may have missed a point on Fluttershy's side. Fluttershy may actually be at 4.
No, I believe... Is Fluttershy at 4? Oh, you're right. Fluttershy is in fact at 4. So True Friend, like I said, incredibly strong. And that's 6 versus 5. Oh no, it's 3 because of the skunk. Portal.
Yep, there's the Furball Banish, and here comes more friends being moved home.
Yep, more snakes.
Let's move that home for sure. So
And okay, choosing not to move everything back at the troublemaker because he's already losing the face-off. Yes,
Playing a Rutherford Frightening Zipper Will.
good call.
Yes. Probably a little tired of that.
But now, because of his call of not moving back the Falcon, he won the troublemaker face-off.
Bugle.
Yeah.
Bugle.
Yes.
This deck has a tertiary white.
Yes.
Bugle.
Yes.
This deck just played Interdimensional Portal.
Yes.
Bugle.
Mm-hmm.
Are you playing F-Stop?
There might be some F-stops in this deck.
Ah, I knew it.
This is perhaps the greediest deck I've ever built.
No, I just can't.
This is pretty greedy, I can't lie.
Yeah, we're still doing space off.
Sure.
6 to 7, is that right?
So now that's 2 more action tokens.
I don't even... What is this?
This is Zipperwill plus F-Stop rule the world.
Did I score for that already?
This is a little silly.
Ask Bugle. I think he
Yeah,
did.
can you ask Bugle?
As for what, if a problem was confronted already?
He should have 6 points.
Yes.
I can tell you if he heard it.
Okay.
Because, well, it's important right now because this is whether or not he's taking 4 AT or 3.
Yes, I believe he's at 6.
Yes. Lunatic should be at 6 points. Ponka should be at 2.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not like gaining AT is something. I should have 6 points.
Okay. I'll gain 4 each. Oh, did you replace that roll?
No, I did not.
I'm gain 4 each.
Yep, gotta replace that problem.
Actually, okay.
So there might be some home limit issues right now.
Maybe... Well, not yet.
Not for Fluttershy. Might be confronting.
Maybe.
Alright, my turn. 1, 2, 3.
Actually,
Well, that's just a trigger off of, to Griffinstone.
Oh, so Ponka does have, in fact have 3 points. So I think you missed a point on both sides at one point.
Ah,
There you are.
my apologies. Probably just missed a full turn
I
cycle.
think he just found the F-stop.
More. Well,
Oh, this is about to get silly.
gain, did I already, yeah, gain 18, but paper to exhaust, hard.
Now, I'm assuming
More.
I'm assuming at this point to home limit the tokens are the first thing to go.
Yeah, probably also the owls.
Yeah,
The
you
Zipperwill, though, he needs.
yeah, you do not need that much meticulous.
There we go. Thank you. Sing barrel.
Oh, that was the F-stop that he just got.
This is greedy bugle. Are you running
Oh,
are you running Xerox?
No.
Okay, no
No.
Xerox.
No.
Not that
There are a
greedy?
lot of singletons. The Uh-Oh in the deck is the only copy of Uh-Oh in the deck.
Okay.
There's a single copy of Glass of Water, or is it Tiny Glass of Water? The song.
Right. It's glass of water.
Okay. There are 2 opalescences, the one that
Yep.
vanishes,
Yep, that one I'm not surprised to see.
because that's also a critter.
Right, exactly. So you get both effects.
Yes.
Yep, Zipper Will coming in, unfrightening. Now I'm trying to find where the Princess Twilights, where the paper Twilights have run off to.
They are stacked under F-stop right now.
Ah, there we go. Now you'll have to remind me the exact text on Zipper Will. Is that when a critter enters, when one of your critters enters play here?
Correct.
Okay.
So it needs to be at her place, but she can move any opponent's friend to anywhere.
Correct.
Technically misplaying this.
Yeah. Now, Zipper Will can also work at home, but he wants the 3 power of Zipper Will, and putting all the critters at Zipper Will is better at a problem, of course. So now, what he does need is he needs some troublemakers.
Yes, he does. Because at this point, with Fluttershy being able to gain 4 action tokens a turn, and with
He has some home limit problems, so he does need to retire a lot of cards there.
Yep. So we'll need to make sure that gets adjusted. Come on, Bonka, get with it.
Hi, that was my hand.
There we go. There we go. And there's the 5 at home.
So yeah, those are the 5 I would have kept. Yes.
Yep.
And now he's going to portal that furball in a moment here.
Somewhere.
Well, once his opponent spends the AT to move.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's not going to do it right now, but it is going to happen at some point. Ponka thinks he's going to lose, but I don't know. This is. He's got a lot of resource advantage, and
Yellow and blue aren't
It really does
exactly.
depend.
Yeah, yellow and blue aren't exactly known for hard removal.
oh, he's going to play Rise and Shine instead of the portal.
I don't know how many. Well, he had 1 AT remaining.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of players using True Dungeon tokens to keep track of their action tokens. That's an interesting call.
Yes, Ponka is a huge fan of True Dungeon, and ever since he went, he started using them as action tokens.
Well, we saw them last game, too.
Now, if I was him, I would be looking for troublemakers.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got the interdimensional portal,
finish.
and he's got the F-stop, so he does have some elements of control here. Plus, he's actually in a relatively good position with Fluttershy not having a critter at Ponka's problem.
Correct.
So that means Fluttershy would need to invest a full 2 AT in order to get a critter over there before he could be moving his main for 1.
So, putting back Rise and Shine back in hand, so now he's got the Rise and Shine and the portal, so that's 4 free movements. Unless a Rutherford hits play, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, I am.
So now he has that 1 copy of Cleaning Up in his hand, too. He could use that to get back his Troublemaker.
The problem is I don't have free buckets like I should.
Yeah. Oh, you don't? That's like.
No.
Oh. That's a bit of a bummer on Lunatic's side.
What is he missing?
He doesn't have a play set of Rutherfords.
Ooh.
So either he only has 1 left or he has 0 left.
And that is a very unusual card I see in Lunatic's hand. That's a changeling.
Yes.
Yeah, that actually doesn't do
I wouldn't have exactly expected a bunch of frighten effects there.
I think you missed a score on Ponk.
Yes, I think I did.
So now that so now he's not even confronting because he only has the 3 power instead of 6. And I think in the long run that's going to save him some resources.
Action tokens, 4 meticulous triggers, and ancient research. Oh, I've been computing ancient research. I didn't need it. I didn't draw like this. 1.
Yep, moving through those meticulous triggers as fast as he can.
Yep.
This is Derpy Bugle.
I love this deck.
We tried to build something similar to this mentally on the ride home from, I believe, Pacific PonyCon. But the idea of splashing white as a tertiary color for F-stop is quite amusing.
Oh, yes. And like I said, it also gives you access to a few just utility white events, the opalescences, and of course the photo finishes.
No, I'm not sure I'd be making the play that that Punkapo is doing here and leaving that singing barrel on the field, especially with his opponent running not only yellow, which has immediate resource dismissal, but also blue for things like trashed.
Yeah, I would probably have brought it back as well. Now, you have that much action tokens, and your opponent is playing blue.
If we can get Ponka to move the score die back a bit more into camera frame, that would be nice.
So he is at 5 points now.
Okay.
You can hear him, right?
The answer to your question is probably a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
Never.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So Ponka's only 1 point behind, and he's got
He's
a
got
lot
board,
of
he's got-
advantage right now.
yeah, he's got board presence, that's for sure. Thank you.
And then we're going to go one.
So if you're Fluttershy here, how do you try to break through this wall?
It's pretty difficult since you kind of need okay, frighten.
I think that's kind of the play I actually make. Save AT and just go ham on a single turn and say, okay, blow everything you've got. Because you can only use f-stop once per turn. Once on your turn, specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now how much power is left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6?
Yeah, and there's the interdimensional portal as well.
Right. So do you think that's enough critters?
What, on Fluttershy's side of the field? Or on Ponka's side of the
problem.
field? I don't know.
Period.
There's a few critters here. There are a few. I think we can have some more, though. I think it's okay to have more. Also, how dare you not use the adorable little Putty Tat token that came in the theme decks, Ponka?
He only has the one.
I'm shameful.
Finally.
I'm just sad that they're not puppies. Either that or Zipperwill is very confused as to what a puppy looks like.
This is true. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Yes. I think that is very appropriate here. So...
Yep, gain the AT. Keep that AT advantage.
he grabbed the portal, and I would have grabbed the... No uneven rounds, so Ponka is free to amass as many action tokens as he can.
But he didn't say no
So he had another barrel, so he wasn't too worried.
And there's the photo finish coming down. Okay.
Yes.
He didn't say no Philomena.
I guess I should data draw because I need things.
Philomena could very well be in Fluttershy.
Oh, there's a nap cakes. And he found a troublemaker.
Oh, this is silly. Is it bad that I love it?
Oh, So.
What happened to her?
There was an arm Ospie that he played and forgot to uncover a long time ago.
Ah, okay.
I completely forgot about it.
Well,
To be fair, we missed it too, Ponka.
yeah. To be fair, there was also a lot of stuff on the table.
There might be several meticulous triggers and several Zipperwill triggers and several f-stops and barrels and...
Let's see, still holding a huge hand of stuff. This is great. I love this. This is silly.
I'm very, very pleased with this deck. I've only gotten to play it 3 times myself, and it performed admirably. But I know someone in Canada, in Feather's group, has seen my build and has run it as well. I'm pretty sure he's at the con. I don't know if he's also running it, though.
Okay.
But I'm really glad that we got to see this on stream, because this is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, this is very fun.
And
it's
this
not
is
and it's not
performing
a
at its best.
It's not a one-turn kill from you. Bugle, you're losing your touch.
I build control decks all the time.
This is true. You did build by some apples.
Yes. So 7 points since he scored off of the photo finish.
That's right.
So now he's in the lead solidly.
Now, you said you're running 2 photo finish in the deck?
There are 2 photo finishes, yes.
Okay, and no Xerox.
There
in
was
here.
original 1 photo finish and 1 mix-up, big mix-up.
Okay.
But I found big mix-up just wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
You're already...
Yep, getting another troublemaker out here.
Yes. I don't think he cared about the banish. He just cared about getting the troublemaker.
Yeah, absolutely. Glass of water, flipping the troublemaker
To
face up.
uncover it immediately.
Yeah, makes sense.
4 minutes left.
There's a second zipper will.
So now he can move 4 things.
At this point, if you are Lunatic Song, do you just kind of pick up the cards and move along?
I think he's enjoying the chaos.
Well, as long
This
as
is a marvel unfolding before him.
as long as both players are having fun.
All my stacks. I don't have any ore stack.
Has he actually run out of snake tokens?
He has run out of snack tokens, as he is calling them, yes.
He hasn't moved anything of mine.
What? Oh, did you not play? You played this, right?
I played Zipper Will.
That's all you played?
Yeah, that's all I played.
Yeah, zipper will is a mandatory trigger, I believe.
Yes.
I don't think I have anything in my deck that will do anything at this point, but I'm gonna go find it if there is.
There you go. And you hear a Lunatic saying, well, it's fishing time. Hey, there you go.
I do love the I spit on your face, Pee-wee there. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you've got me, I don't care. Lose one.
Oh, and bewitched beavers at instant speed, too. The bad banners on the fast food.
Squareface?
Yes, Scorpion.
Rise and show.
So that'll be,
Next. That triggers
yeah, that'll be 4.
twice for each snake. So move 4 home.
So he's just going to send all of it, except for the weather mare, the
Yeah.
frightened weather mare. That's another point, so I believe that puts him to 9. He could score 3 points. He might actually score 15.
He might, if it gets to time. If you can beat the Starlight, that'll be 10, 11, 12.
Yes. I would actually beat a challenge the... Oh, I would have challenged it here.
I don't know if I would have gone for it yet. He might be waiting one more turn.
I mean, I would have challenged it and then exhaust or moved anyway or something just to not face off.
And another Rise and Shine. It's like, why? Why would you do this?
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, this is one of those silly decks that you can't even help but giggle at a little bit.
So, this is true, Ponka. He's now at 10. He will have 11. No.
Lunatic Song says, no, you're not getting off the hook that easy.
Yes.
Says, I'm going to make you work for
So
it.
he'll go to 11 on his turn. Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Those are 4 power changeling drones.
Why not?
Yeah, there's
Why
the Rise
not?
and Shine.
Awesome!
I should have got more snakes.
Yeah, Ponka's just like, eh. What a pitiful rebellion. Oh.
You know, I actually understand the snake tokens because Rise and Shine specifically references that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
This is true.
Okay.
I'm gonna take those.
He's using it just because the snakes look funny.
Put that on top. It's hilarious. Ancient research. Oh, cool. This works better. Draw a card exhaust.
I really want
I might use nothing but Doge tokens. That might be entertaining.
Twilights right out the gate.
Oh. Who's this?
Me, right?
Yep, there's a point off of photo finish for
Yep.
no
So I
confronts.
believe that. Yeah. So he goes up to 12. No,
Yeah,
11.
Yeah, he's at 11. And the third
Oh, he
zipper
has a
whip.
third zipper will. Cause why not?
This is your TO live from the floor with an important message. Snack.
Snicks.
He's just moving everything to Armos because why not?
Well, I'll tell you why not. The answer is Rise and Shine, because now that's 6 friends going home.
Well, he moved them there just so he could move them back.
That's fair.
Exhaust, P1, return this to my
This is the Zipper World Grand Tour.
This is... Google, I hope you're proud of yourself.
No, that's enough snakes.
This is the single dumbest thing I've ever seen in this game.
You are welcome.
I'm so grateful to you.
Do we know how many rounds we have yet?
Go over here.
I'm not sure. We can ask the TO.
Score phase.
Score phase!
But
There we go.
I think this being 3. Yeah. That is a lot of snakes, yes, Bonka. But I think winning 3 games, regardless of how many rounds they have, unless they have 6 rounds, but if they only have 5 rounds, I think he's made it to top 8.
Yeah, with
which I'm very pleased about.
with a 3-0 record.
Yes.
Yeah, that would work.
Screwed up a million times.
And with that, the victory is going to Zipperwell.
Yes. Yes, Ponkapo has zipper willed. 21 snakes.
Snicks. Goodness gracious.
I don't know about you, but I've had it with these snakes
On this
at
map?
this problem.
Yeah. So now I have to ask, right? If we look at this deck and we look at the different archetype matchups, okay, sure, I can understand it having a good matchup against Applejack, which is very fun. Obviously, it's got a fun matchup against Bluna as well. Even against Friend to Animals, which normally is going to run more friends than Bluna is, this is quite strong.
Yes.
How does it end up dealing with one-turn kill combos?
With one-turn combos, it says this. Oh, okay, bye. Have fun, I'm losing.
Okay.
Against
what
Pile,
about-
however, it does have 4 resource destruction main deck, and the cleaning up. If you can use that cleaning up to hit that 1 copy of Hooves, you're in a glorious state.
this
I've
is
actually
true.
found it has about a 50% chance against Pile.
Okay. So that's not too bad.
Yeah,
For a
but
deck-
it does just loses to 1-turn combo.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that would probably be a little bit rough. That was still a glorious showing. Ponka, Lunatic, thank you for creating such an entertaining game here
Yes.
for everyone on stream.
And thank you to Lunatic for enjoying the ride rather than rage quitting. Now, I know Lunatic, and I know that he's the kind of guy who wouldn't rage quit in that situation at all, but still, I'm glad we got to see the entire chaos. The puppies everywhere.
Snicks.
Snack, puppy, same thing. So, for those viewing at home, what did you guys think?
Yeah, what is your favorite moment, Ben, of the stream so far today?
Aside from the downtime.
I don't know, that was my favorite part. No, it wasn't.
But yeah, I had fun with that. Lunatic in IRC has just said that was the dumbest game he has ever played.
It was very dumb. I can't lie. I'm not sure I've seen a sillier match. And I think that's actually something that you've captured very well with that deck, which is you create this completely ludicrous board state that is definitely very difficult to break out of, but it's so silly in what it does that it doesn't create the feel bad situation that you'd normally get playing against a deck that is also incredibly oppressive like that.
Now, to be fair, Ponka had a ridiculous start. Like, that is probably the best I've ever seen that deck perform.
Oh, sure.
3 Paper Twilights on turn 3, and then
the
he found
owls
his
and-
Zipperwheel early, and he got an F-stop, and he had everything he needed. But that is what that deck tries to do. With all of the meticulous it has, it just tries to find the cards it needs, and then it uses that toolbox discard pile that you have with F-stop, and you can go to town. I have a block version of this as well. Obviously, it doesn't have F-stop for some strange reason.
Sad face.
But it does run the purple spike that we saw earlier.
Sure, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. That's just silly.
Final Sight, I unfortunately can't link it right now since they're in the tournament, but tomorrow during top 8, I will absolutely link it if he makes it to top 8. And if he doesn't make top 8 for some strange reason, I can link it because it doesn't matter because he's not in the tournament. But right now, we do have to respect the player's privacy and not post deck links. But yes, you can bet I will be sharing the heck out of this deck in the near future.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's just a good old-fashioned time.
I've the block version of this is of course called Zipperwheel Doodah. And the Harmony version is just called Greed.deck. Because it is a very greedy deck.
Yes, it is. It could be. It could be greedier.
Yes, it has only the 6 purple entry aside from Ancient Research. It has 7 yellow entry and only 4 white entry.
Yeah, but you're only running a few specific white pieces.
Yes, this is why there's substantially less white than there is yellow.
And it is just the Singing Barrels and the Makeover, right? Or are you running Fancy Pants?
There are 3 Singing Barrels, 1 Makeover, and 3 Royal Guidances.
Okay, yeah.
And the 3 Aloysiuses, of course.
Of course.
See, Aloysius manages to fill 3 roles in this deck. It helps you flip Twilight. It's purple wreck if you can't flip Twilight. And it's a critter, which plays well with Zipperwheel.
Yep.
I cannot express adequately how much I love Aloysius as a card. Oh, Final Sight. Sure. Let me go dig up my block version for you real quick. So before I do that, Lunatic has mentioned in chat that the moment he saw that he was against Ponkapo, he wanted to be on stream.
Well, I'm glad.
So we absolutely appreciate that, Lunatic. It was a great time. I had a blast. I'm pretty sure our viewers had a blast. I think Grandpa's didn't like it, though.
I hated it. That was miserable.
Anyway, I will take just a moment to go dredge up this deck for Final Sight, and you can entertain everyone in the meanwhile.
Sure, I'm sure I can do that. It's been interesting to see a few original deck ideas coming out here. We knew that with Set 7 not having been released yet, that there would definitely be some people trying some original things for this tournament. I'm surprised to see so much prevalence of yellow and blue, but again, we were talking about this earlier. Point advantage is something that you really have to try to leverage in this game if you're not playing either an instant kill deck or a very hard control deck. And the best ways that you can do that are with cards that, like we've seen, Rarity Truly Outrageous, Night Glider Overpowering. We've seen the problem, the yellow-blue problem, whose name currently escapes me.
We actually haven't seen a Night Glider yet.
No, we haven't, but we can safely assume that it was probably in Luna.
And at least one of the decks, sure.
Right.
So, yes, I managed to find my block deck and I linked it in chat for everyone. And I see that she doesn't have her hat. I don't know who that is.
I
Who
don't
is
know.
that?
I don't know. Probably someone. No one. No one
Looks
great. No one powerful.
looks like someone I know, but I don't know. No hat.
Hmm. I have to. I have to look at this deck here. I have to see this thing.
Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure going 3-0
Are
guarantees
you
a spot
really
in top
running
8.
Pink Parasprite as well?
In the block version, yes.
Uh,
Not in the Harmony version.
okay.
The pink Parasprite might need to change. I don't know, but you could protect it very well with Zipper Will, and it just you need to super overcommit to even try and beat her or beat the Parasprite. Now, I have seen someone online mention that he, in his block version, he is not running Pink Parasprite because of Bluna and Hasty, and maybe that's true. Maybe that's why it should, in fact, be Double Diamond.
I could see that.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you're just trying to go the control route, I can see that. Although the fact that you're only running 2 colors. Oh no, you've got the photo finish in there for block. Okay, that makes more
Yes,
sense.
that is the only white card in the block version.
And you actually have more entry into white in the block version than you do in the Harmony version.
Yes, as strange as it is because you really need the 3 yellow. So Makeover and Barrel are the obvious choices.
No, I guess the interesting question here is we know that purple-white is a 2-color combination in set 7. Could we possibly see some pieces that that might
That fit this?
Yeah, that fit this.
Possibly the purple-white song would actually fit nicely. I think version actually isn't running any Glass of Waters, which is I might have to relook at that. I built this version way before I built the Harmony version.
Yeah, I'm a little.
This version originally had bulk, but banned cards are banned.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a little surprised you aren't running Glass of Water even as a one of.
Yeah, so like I said, this version might need some fine tuning.
I will have to double check before I say anything here, Final Sight. Give me just a moment. I need to be very careful.
In block, currently I don't think there is. The photo finish is really just there to help you finish the game quicker, as her name would imply.
There is actually an alternative to photo finish. It's
In
blackmail.
block?
It's blackmail.
Well, yes, but that card doesn't exist right now.
It does too. We just don't have it yet.
Ah! I think we just got attacked.
Did we?
One of those vicious pony attacks.
So, Pages, you say you prefer Tantabus over Trixie. Are you trying to control your opponent's AT as well, so they don't really have a method of getting around that?
Tantabus is good. The thing about using Trixie there is because you can Zipper Will problematic friends to Trixie, thus turning them off, which is pretty fun. Anyway, I believe we are getting ready for round 4, and I'm fairly certain that's Feathers on the right there.
And Applejack makes her triumphant return.
Applejack is Feathers' favorite main, so.
Little difficult to tell from the name badge. For anyone at the con who's or knows someone at the con, would be curious to hear how the rest of the events are going. You can feel free to leave us a message in chat about that. Now, I find this to be interesting. We've gone into 4 rounds now and have yet to see one of the most popular mains that was here last year make an appearance. We have not seen DJ yet.
We have not seen a single DJ, no.
Any particular reason you think that may be?
I think she was so popular that people made the meta call of not running it because they're fearing Deep Darkness.
Well, we know we've seen it, and we'll probably see it again in this match.
I know that Feathers is running Deep Darknesses in her deck because of Vinyl.
Yeah, Pile of Presence is still definitely a threat in the meta.
Mm-hmm. So Bluna versus Applejack. So the Bluna player is 2-1. I don't know about Feathers.
We'll get the name of the left player up here in just a moment. And again, we're seeing Under Lock and Tree and Rock Slide.
Yep.
Not unexpected. Definitely problems that are, at this point, all but mandatory for each of these mains.
I have, in fact, seen Applejack. You weren't on stream at the time, but we have seen Applejack using Equals Propaganda and just using a bunch of double flip cards in the deck rather than the Rock Slide and trying to slow down aggro players because Applejack is going, I'm only going to score 3 points a turn anyway.
I have seen that. That's true. Getting the game set up here. So do you think we'll see Bluna white? No, this is Bluna purple.
Ah.
Interesting. I saw a Zakora in there. Now, typically
Yes.
you're seeing blue-purple control using Princess Twilight instead with blue as a secondary color. This is an interesting choice.
This might be a mid-range.
Mm-hmm. I also saw Night Glider overpowering in hand, but it looks like he actually took a mulligan for that.
So, yes. So the question here is, does Feathers know his secondary color? Because purple has traditionally been the best way of dealing with Applejack. But if this is more of an aggro or even mid-range, maybe he's not running the purple force movement. And it looks like the round has begun, so yeah, let's see what happens. I'm curious. I don't know about you.
Oh, yes. I am excited to see what comes up here. Little garbled picture there, but it looks like an epic win, and he just kind of shrugs and says, we'll have to keep it.
Well, it was similar to the first hand he had, he said. Does not fear the even ground from Applejack. Very strange call. I think that's Glimmer and an Epic.
I know we saw an Alizodal in her hand, I believe.
So it looks like a little bit of a slow start. Oh no, it was simply double trouble. Fortunately, she didn't move to the Alizodal. It was the Tyrek on.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, it would have been a little worse.
Now, I'm not sure I would have necessarily played those in that order. I might have played the Tyrek to Rock Slide and the Alizodal over to Underlock and Tree.
Oh, banishing Zakora.
Yep, get that purple entry, and there is a Luna Wax and Wane.
Yes. Interesting.
We might be seeing some kind of flicker-based deck here, trying to leverage AT
Mm-hmm.
advantage.
Mm-hmm. So that does flip Bluna, but not a very good way of challenging Tyrek, unfortunately.
But if Bluna can be banished before the Tyrek challenge, that might be a better option.
Maybe. That is exactly what you want to flip there. So that Applejack just got huge. Went from 1 to 7 in one turn. In one face-off, even.
Yeah, a little silly. That problem now open. Now, do you move over to Tyrek, or do you just leave that there to prevent Luna from confronting?
I think I would leave it there for now. While you are scoring one fewer points a turn at that rate, is that a Flim and that's a Flim and Flam? So I think you play the Flim and Flam here, right?
Probably.
Score that point.
Yep, we were talking about that being one of the best control cards that Applejack could end up running, or other control decks.
Yeah.
Far more so than...
Feathers is now up to 3, and our Bluna player...
Epic win. It's a good draw. And he's got just enough power.
He had that in his starting hand, in fact. So I think that was actually his strategy.
Okay. Well, that does make sense. We'll have to see if he can actually get the DFO. I don't see a Hasty here, but I do see a Spitfire in hand. Which...
the DFO won't help because of Flim and Flam.
Ah, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, well,
he looks like Bluna's name is Jared.
Okay.
Well, Bluna's name is Bluna, but the player is Jared. So evening up the score, no troublemakers to be found. I've seen worse board spots for Bluna in this matchup.
Mm-hmm. Now this is interesting because even though players can only confront one problem each turn, they still go through the process with Flim and Flam on the board, which does present the opportunity to play a Night Glider and move Luna at instant speed or at hasty speed.
Is that a Rutherford?
That is
looks
Rutherford.
Like a Rutherford.
I'm sorry, not Night Glider, Rutherford. To basically do this.
And that's a very, very, very shiny carbo loader at home.
Yep, that's one of the original
Dr.
problems.
Rainbow. Glad you could join us.
Now, I'm not sure I actually would have played the Rutherford there. I might have let Applejack go for the confront for another turn and played the Rutherford to trigger a DFO on my next turn.
Maybe, though the DFO isn't necessarily helpful right now.
Well,
I mean, you do get rid of the Rock Slide, but...
It's not just that. He's got a Night Glider in hand.
Oh. Well, then I would just play the Night Glider.
On this turn, sure.
Yes. Well, let's see. The thing is that no, but there's a carbo loader in play, so he doesn't want to do a DFO. Take that 1 point, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still.
Yeah, if the carbo loader was not there, I would absolutely play Night Glider, and that would be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 versus 7. Oh, but still 2 flips. No, still not very appealing.
Well, we have
maybe start a single problem face-off there.
We have seen this is not really Bluna aggro, more of a mid-range deck, so I think its flip average is going to be a little bit higher. It might have been willing to take those odds.
But 2 flips when you're only up 2 points, I don't think is worthwhile.
If you're counting 3 flips with the Rock Slide, yeah.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I would have played the Rutherford there.
I think saving Rutherford for the carbo might have been preferable.
Mm-hmm.
But denying the point and going ahead on points isn't a horrible play for sure.
No. And since we know he's got kind of a flicker theme going, and I actually see a second Rutherford in hand...
That's a good point. Yes. So, playing Rutherford here, and then Night Glider... but then you still got that Applejack to contend with.
I mean, 7 power is going to be 7 power. But this may be the
Well, it's
best
7
time.
power and 2 flips. So
Right.
if he had any way with his purple of moving Applejack home...
This may be the best time for him to do it regardless, just so his opponent
Yes,
isn't
just
there
so
with a troublemaker flip on the
Right.
next turn.
And you get rid of the problem.
Right.
So it might be worth losing that 1 point. Or rather, sacrificing that 1 point.
Remember, it's not just sacrificing that 1. If you're playing the Night Glider, you're also not getting the 2. But it looks like he is going to go for that.
You're not getting the 2, and also giving the 2 diligent counters. So it is kind of a big risk.
I do see a
getting
portal.
rid of that problem.
I do actually see a portal here, so he might not even reveal. And even if he does... So we know
he
he's
has a
confronting.
portal and a...
Yeah, he has a portal and a Rutherford in
Okay,
hand.
so...
But there's a popping coin.
Oh, yes. That's probably the correct call there. Going to score face first. See if there's a popping corn. If there is not, then portal to get rid of the carbo loader.
Of course, you know, when you're using tricks like this, you want to be sure that you wait until the last
Trixie.
possible moment. His opponent does have 2 AT. And,
Interesting.
yep, I would pay to remove Spike in this case as well.
Yeah, that is... I would have expected that to be the other way around.
What do you mean?
Because Applejack can't fight the Trixie.
You mean the
Or the Spike, yeah.
Spike? Yeah, but he's pushing for the DFO, and that does allow Applejack to just confront turn after turn.
Yeah, this is true.
Ooh, clipped wings on Night Glider. Unfortunately, that's not really going to matter with Interdimensional Portal in hand.
Correct. So 5 to 4 now, I believe?
Yeah, with Feathers having scored on her turn.
Ooh, because he has the portal and the Rutherford, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
So I think he's just confronting single problem face-off?
No. He's challenging Trixie.
Ah.
But he has the Rutherford, so I think he wants to...
So do you bounce Night Glider over there and then play Rutherford? I think you've got to move... Oh, no, you can't. You can't move the Night Glider because Trixie's going to shut it off.
Right. But he has a Rutherford in hand.
Yes, but... he's going to have to play the Rutherford to the other location is the issue.
Yes.
Which he does correctly.
And now he's starting the face-off, so now they are flipping to see what happens. 6 versus 3.
4.
4, correct.
Flip to 3. Flip to 5. He's got 2
So,
IDPs in hand.
7 versus 11. He could move 4 power over and tie it, but that's not worth it.
No. Absolutely not.
Interesting, sending the Frightened Friend home instead of Luna.
He might want to just make use of... Well, he's already got the blue requirement, so...
So...
Now, he can sit here and force the single problem face-off.
Right.
And his opponent doesn't know that the clipped wings won't matter if he chooses.
Right.
Well, that's not necessarily true. It is going to matter. With Princess Luna frightened at home, he doesn't have the purple wreck.
Oh, that's a very good point.
But he does play Bon Bon moving over.
That's still only 2, and he needs 3.
Well, he doesn't have the AT remaining anyway.
Well, he has the beam cannon, though.
That'll be helpful.
But he is still losing on the flips, possibly. So this is risky play.
Ooh, he doesn't have the wreck for beam cannon. Isn't that 3?
Oh, you're right.
So he's still at 11 versus 9. However, Applejack is still flipping 2.
Right.
I believe. Did we miss an Earth Pony somewhere?
Yes, Bon Bon.
No, I counted that. Applejack is there with Flim and Flam. Are they unicorns?
Flim and Flame are unicorns.
Ah, okay.
So did he actually win that? I think he actually won that.
We'll have to see.
And it's reasons like this that I would rather run Bon Bon over Blue Moon.
Mm-hmm. I
But
agree.
yeah, Applejack did not get diligent counters, so he must have won that face-off. Even if he didn't get the Night Glider trigger, that's still pretty big.
So I believe that puts him up to 7 points, is that correct?
Yes.
So now you're Feathers. You're playing Applejack here. You've got a Trixie up at one problem, and you've got Applejack's worst nightmare at the other, so your friends are going to have Stubborn. Do you go for
Yes.
Trixie, or do you go to try to confront the problem?
Yeah, that's a guaranteed point. And Troublemaker.
And the ever-ominous 1 AT saved up in orange.
Yes.
And we have to be careful, make sure Feathers isn't
So-
spoiling the bonus here.
That's up to 5, I believe?
Mhm.
Or is that 6?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
If we can get a score check on the players, actually, just to be sure that Jared did win that problem face-off last turn,
Oh
that
no,
would be helpful.
he definitely won because Feathers would not have forgotten those diligent counters. So Bluna has a slight lead here. Do you think Bluna can maintain that lead?
I think this version of Luna has a better chance of maintaining it than the aggro version.
So Spitfire, 2 Pegasi and a Pegasus cat, and Bluna, of course. So that's 3 AT for 9 power. That's pretty good.
Pretty good value. He's looking at 9v7, still single flips. Yep, and there's the popping corn. We knew that 1 AT was there for something.
And now all those tokens are going away. Spitfire's going to be frightened. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. And now Applejack's going into that 7 versus 2. No chance she's not going to challenge that, is there?
No.
And that'll
Flipping
do
a
it.
bailout. Yep, that'll be 2
Yeah.
points for Feathers. Brings Feathers
So
up
now-
to tie.
That's important info, though. Flipping a bailout means Feathers has 1 fewer bailout available to her.
That's right. You know, this is something that we have to practice and remember, but I've seen you do it tremendously with Buy Some Apples, and that is keep a list of what you flip, people. It is important.
It's important if you expect to go through your deck. If you don't, I don't believe Feathers does. It's not as relevant.
I'm not so sure. In a deck that's triggering face-offs this often, if the game can go long, you might see that.
Yes. Good choice.
Yep, Iron Will coming down.
Though Iron Will now has Stubborn and also Stubborn,
Yes.
which I feel is appropriate given the character. So, do you think we'll ever see Iron Will come back? We've seen a lot of the early episode antagonist and antagonist-like characters returning. You know, we've seen Gilda, we've seen that blue unicorn, we've seen
Yeah,
we've seen the Manticore come back.
yeah, I could expect to see it.
Yeah, I would like to see Iron Will come back.
He's a bit of a fan favorite.
Now, admittedly, Iron Will wasn't like super antagonist. He was kind of just doing his job. You know, he wasn't like Flim and Flam swindling people.
Sure.
You know, but I could still see him coming back, and it would be interesting to see what Iron Will is like 2 years later. And
It
it
would
must
be.
have been 2 years because there have been 3 Hearthwarming Eves on the show now.
Yep, so we've got another Bonbon coming down, moving Luna
Yes.
over to Trixie's problem.
Now he has four purple rec, so he can actually successfully play those purple events in his hand.
Uh-huh. IDP wouldn't be too bad of a choice here.
Right. Is that the third popping corn I see in Feather's hand?
Yes, it is.
Oof. Because this far in the game, you're not expecting to see a third copy of a card. I mean, admittedly, we saw 3 Paper Twilights turn 3 in the previous game, but that's not exactly common.
Well, it's going to get more common as the game goes along. You've seen some cards be flipped.
It's still rather early.
It is. And here we see 2 to Unfrighten and 2 for... I was thinking about it. Probably a Deep Darkness?
Maybe.
No, just 2 to move. Hmm?
Yeah, I can see that. You move, so you can confront, and now you can challenge Trixie.
I don't actually like this. You've just shut off Flim and Flam as long as Trixie remains up there. Although, I guess that doesn't really matter, because if Trixie gets defeated, then Flim and Flam just turns back on again.
Unless we see a surprise reform... No, that card can only be played on non-epics. So I was thinking a really strange play involving Tree Hugger and the card that turns off Troublemakers, but that can only be played on non-epic Troublemakers.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of AT over on Luna's side.
That gambit makes a lot of sense to me. Just wants the ability to challenge while not giving up the ability to confront.
Makes sense. I believe that brings Feathers up to 9 points, actually.
Yes. And so Portal Rutherford... Is that what you do here?
Well, portaling Rutherford to the other problem, frightening Flim and Flam, or what do you do? Frightening at Carboloader.
I think you're right. Don't portal yet. He does have 7 AT. This is a tricky situation.
He's got a lot of possibilities in hand. We know he's got 2 interdimensional portals. We know he's got a second Rutherford in his hand. There's one on the field.
But really, Trixie is the worst possible troublemaker for him to be dealing with right now.
Okay, so portals Rutherford at home.
Okay, so...
Gets Carboloader frightened.
So now we're looking at 5 versus 6.
Nope,
no additional flips.
No, that's 6v6.
Oh, you're right, 6. So you have to try at this point, right?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Keep it fair, right? We know there's 1 less bailout. There's a 3 versus a 3. Looking at options, does he want to drop another IDP, or does he want to play another Rutherford? Looks like he is going to go for the IDP.
I would throw Night Glider. Get rid of the
Oh! That's right, we forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that certainly works. Now, here's an interesting situation, though. I'm not sure I would have flickered Spitfire back to home.
None of those tokens are Pegasi.
I do too. I don't know if I would have put Spitfire there. Spitfire's tokens, I believe, can enter play anywhere.
Correct.
I would have put Spitfire over at Applejack's Worst Nightmare. Oh, no, wait. No, you can't do that because Iron Will's active there.
Correct. He had to put it at home.
Okay, so he did see that play. It's a good play, and that's 2 points to
That's
Jared,
why the Rutherford stayed at home as well.
So we're at a tie game here, 9v9. 3 AT remaining. Cloud Chaser coming down, sure, makes sense. Gonna exhaust, spend 2 AT.
More Cloud Chasers.
Sure. Next turn's gonna be a big one.
So I actually like Cloud Chaser a lot in this deck because he's trying to play for a little bit of a longer game. And Cloud Chaser works better. Oh, there's that. There's that popping corn.
Yep, we knew that was coming.
Yep.
So now I think we saw Spike in his deck earlier. I can't remember specifically.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Looks like he's just going to get rid of the Night Glider and the clipped wings.
Yes.
Now, if you're Applejack, do you go for the DFO here?
You can't. Flame and Flam still exists.
Keep forgetting that.
Okay, now some of the tokens have magically turned into Pegasi.
Okay.
I agree, Celtic Waters. I actually like this match a lot.
Mm-hmm.
While the Bluna deck is definitely non-traditional, I think that's what makes this matchup far more interesting. If this was a normal Bluna versus Applejack, I think the game would have been over one way or another. Even if the totals weren't, we would have a pretty clear indication of who was winning.
Yep.
This is a much more even game. And I think, honestly, I think it's because of that Flame and Flam. Well, and all of the Trixies that uncovered.
Yeah, we've seen, what, 2, 3 of them so far?
2 Trixies and an Iron Will.
Okay.
Feathers is making the call of, I need more information.
Checking discard pile. Maybe a Nightmare Moon in hand? Difficult to tell from this angle. Not sure I like the play of Nightmare Moon here. Your opponent's just used most of their gas in their hand.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe only 2 cards remaining.
But if it's the only epic you need and you want those 3 points...
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I agree with an epic there. Even if it is a Nightmare Moon. And I
so
might
could play the Deep Darkness and just really just go points for no one.
You could, or you could spend 2 AT to unfrighten the Carbo Loader at home.
I think you're right. I think that's the better call here.
Yeah, especially with Applejack having not actually gotten Diligent up that high.
Mm-hmm.
But he is going to go. She is going to go for the Deep Darkness. And she'll say, "I'll confront over here at Applejack."
So, what this does do is this makes it so either way, this is going to result in a face-off, unless he decides not to confront a problem. So I think Feathers is just trying to send things home at this point.
Well, since it would be triggering on his opponent's turn, try to get rid of some of the stuff at home with 2 Cloud Chasers back there. That's not a bad option. Sure, you'll get rid of the tokens, but you'll also have to get rid of one of the Rutherfords if you want to keep both your Cloud Chasers. Or
Right,
if you want
and
to
the tokens do have Swift, and that can be relevant too.
Right.
But yeah.
Or if you want to keep both your Bon entries for purple.
Right. So I think sending something home is not a bad call here, even if you do wind up losing the face-off. But then again, right now it's what, 8 versus 3, 5, 8 versus 8, so it's even odds.
As far as power?
Yes.
It's still 8. It's still 9 versus 8.
No, it's 8 versus 7. 8 versus 7. Feathers only has 7.
Yeah, and Luna's still there. That's still an Underlock and Tracer.
Well, I was counting that. 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, I guess I wasn't. So 7 versus 9. That's interesting.
Going for the flips. That's a Read the Manual versus an Iron Will.
Yep.
I like Read the Manual.
I like Read the Manual too.
I liked it when it didn't banish itself.
I didn't. Well, I did, but I didn't.
I know what you mean. So that is going to be 2 points for Jared, I believe.
Yes.
It's going to bring Feathers up to 5 AT a turn.
Yes.
And we see a Crash Course. Characters here have Swift.
Yeah. So at 11 versus 10, if that is a Nightmare Moon, and we're pretty sure it's a Nightmare Moon.
It's not. It's a King Sombra.
So that's 2 points for Feathers if she wins. It's 6 versus 5 and only one flip.
Sure.
Challenging
And
Sombra. That is a win. So Feathers goes up to 12.
Sombra's defeated, unfrightened. Well, you
So-
don't even need to unfrighten here.
You want to anyway
Just
to
to shut
stop
off the
Night Glider
abilities.
shenanigans or whatever.
That's true. And you know
So-
all your popping corns are gone.
So, assuming Feathers confronts a problem this turn, which I think is a mostly safe assumption, she'll go up to 13.
Correct.
And next turn, if she doesn't have a troublemaker to fight, she can only score 1 point unless she starts a face-off. So her correct strategy right now might be to do nothing and try and win a problem face-off next turn.
That may be the case. If I'm in
Unless
Feather's
she can
position right
somehow
now,
get rid of her Flim and Flam.
yeah, if I'm in Feather's position right now with 6 AT, I might go for Unfrightened Iron Will, Unfrightened Carbo Loader, because one of her cards in hand is actually an Applejack's Epiphany.
Yes. So I think so. Here's the risk with doing nothing. If Luna can get rid of Flim and Flam, there are 4 points available for Luna.
Right. Okay, I agree with Unfrightened Carbo Loader. At least that puts your Applejack's Epiphany to use.
Yes, I think that is in fact all I would do.
Moving Flim and Flam, that's an interesting choice.
If I was going to move him, I would have moved him to the other problem. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe she's just trying to make sure that Bluna doesn't try and play like 3 Night Gliders and try and win that way.
Could be the case. Or disincentivize any kind of problem face-off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, just don't face off here. You will lose.
Yep, so Feathers at 13, Jared at 11, but with 7 action tokens here. Oh,
And
I'm
2
sorry.
Cloud Chasers.
9 action tokens.
And 2 Cloud Chasers. So, yeah, this is... There is a potential he could win here, though that Deep Darkness means he only has 1 more card available to him if he doesn't have the cards in hand.
Now, I see a Zecora.
Yeah, that's a core could swing this.
That's going to be especially relevant.
Plays Zecora, drag Bluna.
I think he's playing the Night
That
Glider
becomes
first,
6
frightening
versus
Flim and Flam.
5.
Yeah, I think he's... Well, he's thinking about it. I think he kind of wants to save the Rutherford if he can.
No, I think if he can score 4 points, if he can DFO and power through that carbo loader, he wins.
Oh, sure.
So I think playing Zecora to turn off Applejack and Rutherford to turn off Flim and Flam is the best thing he can do if he can get enough power to confront the other problems.
Right. Although he doesn't know about the Epiphany in hand. Frightened Flim and Flam. Okay. Seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
And of course that was free because of Cloud Chaser.
Right. So still 9 action tokens. He did not move the Bluna.
He didn't. He's probably going to play Zecora
And I
anyway.
believe that's intentional. I believe Bluna is going to the other problem because he needs 3 blue there.
Yeah, he can move any character he wants over to Applejack's Worst Nightmare to confront.
Yes. Well, any purple.
Oh, there's a Zecora and a Queen Chrysalis, who might be a great play on Rutherford to frighten.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there's 3 down.
So now it's 5 power. He needs 1 more power there.
Yep, here comes the Zecora over to Crash Course, moving Bluna, and then 2 to move a Bonbon over to Applejack's Worst Nightmare.
Oh, did he banish Zecora?
No, he's just revealing it.
No, he played Zecora.
Yeah, he's just showing it. Okay, so there you go. There's Crash Course. And now you spend 2 and just move a bonbon? Or what do you do? Spend 1 draw. That's true. If you drew into a column the Dream Cavalry, you can move both.
Right. I want to see how this turns out. I am on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah, this is very exciting.
He needs 1 more power, so he's moving.
Now,
So
the interesting thing here is, although
6,
he has...
9, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 versus 8. Only 1 flip per side. I think he's got this.
Well, he doesn't necessarily
No, because there's an epiphany.
Yes.
I lost.
I'm a little bit confused here. We saw the Dream Cavalry come up.
That was the flip. I think she
Right.
didn't quite have enough power.
So, let's see. Starlight puts her at 4. Yeah, I don't think there was anything she could have exhausted. Yep.
Yeah.
That does it.
Wow, that was intense. I think that was the best game we've seen.
It was certainly the closest. That was very, very interesting. What an original deck using Balloona. Not something you typically see in mid-range, but very unique.
Well, I completely understand the motivations here, because I've used, like I've said, I've used Octavia in mid-range, and Octavia's key point is, of course, confronting problems.
Sure.
Same with Balloona, right? So I can see he just goes, I'm just going to try and use Balloona as many times as possible, rather than try and end the game as quickly as possible using her ability. Because by extending the game a little bit, he can use Balloona more frequently. And that's more AT gain over time.
Sure, and with his deck's focus on either Hasty Friends or immediate flickering and banishing, he's able to make use of Lunatrix at even greater frequency than he'd be able to
be
with
fair,
an Azo deck.
Portal does not trigger Balloona.
Oh, that's true. It is play, isn't it?
You must play a friend, yes.
That's true.
She do all these popping cords against me.
I do like how we were able to see kind of the inverse of the common purple-blue control deck that's running around here, with this one not going the same route of the Chaos control and instead just focusing on a few other unique pieces.
While Balloona does flip very easily Celtic, so does Princess Twilight, which is who you would normally see in a deck like this. But no, I kind of understand where he's coming from with the Balloona here.
Wait, why did she stop me going to Octave? Wait, what's your name? I mean, okay, I had like all my friends were feeling like that's understandable. It's like, yeah, it's a hard choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was intense. So I think a few turns ago, Feathers played the one of her popping corns just to deny 1 point. I think I would have saved that where it was more relevant for a DFO kind of situation, because it was only a 1 point thing. There wasn't a face-off that was going to happen.
Sure.
So now she made the best decision she could at the time, but I think had she held on to that, these last couple of turns would have been different.
Yeah, just because you've got a quote-unquote answer to a particular situation doesn't always mean it's the right time to play it. Sometimes you've got to hold a little bit back.
That being said, I don't think she played poorly.
Oh no, not at all. I think she had some excellent plays and very good decisions, and Balloona just managed to get the cards that Jared just managed to get the cards he needed at the right time.
Yeah, and you know what I really like about that? He had to play Zecora to the problem he didn't want Zecora at.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
But because he had the Queen Chrysalis, he had enough
Enough security there.
Yeah, enough security. Yes, exactly. But if there was a bailout, like he said, that would have gone very poorly.
Now, it is interesting that he chose to copy the the Prince Rutherford with Chrysalis there. I'm not actually sure I would have done that, mathematically speaking. Even if you assume your opponent has an Applejack's Epiphany in hand, which she did, a Carbo Loader and then another Carbo Loader flip, is it better just to take away 8 power from your opponent? Well, I guess if you've got the Epiphany... I don't know. You could have...
I think you're right. I think playing it as Zecora might have been slightly better. While Applejack's flip average is about 4, it could have been less.
Right.
Then again, maybe he was afraid of the variance. Maybe he was afraid flip 2 Nightmare Moons.
Right. Well, the other issue you end up running into is, with Applejack's Epiphany there on the field with a Carbo Loader, you're also getting the secondary effect of exhausting one of his characters. By taking away the Carbo Loader, you're really just getting that exhaust and taking away the extra flip as well.
Right.
I think he probably made the correct decision. It's a bit of a coin toss.
It's hard to see, but yeah, I'm sure we could go back and forth on that for days and days to come.
I think both players played very well, though. That was a very exciting
in his favor, regardless. Mm-hmm. So,
a very exciting game to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, This is why you have to take your turns or take your time and think about key decisions at key moments, folks. Because he had to jump through a lot of hoops to get that to work. He wanted to minimize Feather's power and had to get rid of the Flim and Flam. Now, admittedly, the Flim and Flam was large.
Oh,
so,
sure.
If Feathers had uncovered the Iron Will instead of moving Flim and Flam, do you think Jared could have won that?
Okay, so now Jared is looking at being able to DFO without necessarily... I think he still would have been able to. Maybe I'd need to run a little bit of math on it, but he would have been able to play Rutherford to the other problem.
Yes, but he needed 3 blue there.
He did, but he also spent 1 to draw a card, which he maybe didn't necessarily need to do.
Oh, maybe he didn't. So okay, you play Rutherford there, and you frighten Iron Will, I think.
Right, you frighten Iron Will, so now you've got 9 AT.
Right.
So now you play Zecora, which is going to cost you 3.
Right.
Over to the problem with Applejack.
And then Chrysalis as well.
Right, Chrysalis as well, copying the Prince Rutherford.
Right.
Which is enough to confront, I believe, Applejack's Worst Nightmare is 6?
Yes, it is 6.
Okay, so
but
there
now
you go.
need 2 purple and 1 blue, and you only have 3 AT left.
It's very easy. You just... oh, wait, no, you need 3 purple.
Oh no, Rutherford would have dragged Bluna.
Right, but remember, Crash Course
3
needs...
purple.
Yeah, needs 3 purple.
Oh, it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So okay, you play Queen Chrysalis, copying Rutherford, frightening Flim and Flam, dragging Bluna, and then he plays the core to the other problem.
Mm-hmm. But
then he has a Carbo Loader, or Feathers has a Carbo Loader.
No, he doesn't. You played the Queen Chrysalis copying Rutherford.
Well, then they have so the first one was to frighten the Iron Will.
Right. Then the second one's to frighten
the second one is to frighten the Flim and Flam.
No, he didn't You were saying, what if they unfrightened Iron Will instead of Flim and Flam?
No, Flim and Flam wasn't frightened. Flim and Flam was moved.
Oh, instead of moving Flim and Flam.
Yeah.
Ah. I think it would have been harder, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think he could have pulled that off, actually.
At that point, I think you just save everything you've got in your hand and just stop Applejack from confronting the next turn.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's probably the right call to make.
Score 1 and prevent her from trying to start that face-off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you just move over to... In fact, what I would have done is just played the Zecora to Crash Course, move Luna, and leave everything else. I'd even exhaust the Cloud Chaser so that I'd still have 8 AT remaining.
And draw 1 card.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's the better choice. If that was the situation that came up.
Right, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
No, it was not.
No. Oh. Here's hoping we get some more games like that in top 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, that was very exciting. Oh, I see that mysterious unnamed unicorn appearing again. But I have not seen the 2 challengers I'm most excited to see over this tournament.
I know who you're talking about. Hello.
I mean, we've seen one of them. Hey, there she is. We knew she'd make an appearance
Vinyl.
at some point.
Yes. Fennekin sleeves. I wonder if they use pony sleeves for their Pokemon TCG.
No, you use Magic sleeves from Pokemon, and Pokemon
And pony for...
and Pokemon for Pony, and Pony for Magic.
How do you fit Yu-Gi-Oh into this?
You don't. You play good games.
Oh, well then. Pinky versus Fennekin. So, Applejack versus Vinyl.
This seems like more kind of the match I was expecting.
So surprisingly, this is the first time we've seen Vinyl today.
This is the first time we've seen Vinyl, and I'm at like 70-30 odds on Pile of Presents here.
So the question here, I'm the TO, sorry. The question here is, do you recognize these sleeves?
The Fennekin sleeves?
I do recognize them.
No, you should recognize the Pokemon sleeves. You should enjoy this one.
I do recognize the Pokemon sleeves. Is this who was the winner of Everfree last year?
Oh, is that Skitter?
That is in fact Skitter.
Ah, I do have a good memory. Hello, Skitter. Is this
So this
this-
is Matt versus Skitter.
is this a control deck with bad draws, Skitter?
This is in fact Skitter of Control Deck with Bad Draws fame.
So, is Skitter 4-0? Do we know the records of our players here?
T.O. may have stepped away briefly.
I guess so. But yes, Skitter, as those of you who may remember from last year, won the tournament at Everfree last year.
With quite
With
an
a
original deck.
non-traditional pink-white deck, yes.
Non-traditional pink-white deck with, if I believe correctly, 52 cards?
Yes. Very non-traditional.
Well-
Did we figure out who won
I don't think we've heard
Who won
quite
the-
yet.
the flip? Social obligations.
This sure seems like a familiar deck. Odds we're going to see a stack of suitcases?
So I think we're at 3 count for Applejack, 1 count for Vinyl, 1 count for Trixie, 1 for Princess Twilight,
2 for Bluna.
2 for Bluna, and 1 for Fluttershy.
1 for Fluttershy Reformer and 1 for Fluttershy Front to Animals.
Right. So 2 different Fluttershys.
Right. So Applejack
No
does have a strong
Octavius.
showing. No Octavius yet.
Maybe Octavia in top 8 tomorrow, but maybe not.
Yeah, we had I explained this to you yesterday, didn't I? Yeah, the Pathfinder on Sundays.
So, who do you favor here?
Pink's got a lot of the tools that I like to deal with Applejack. It just depends on if he's built his deck for that meta. Cardboard Box can be
Right.
very, very devastating.
Cardboard Box and what's the other? Well, Cardboard Box can be Epiphanide, but yes.
Right, but that's pretty much
then there's
it.
the Snips and Snails.
Sure.
And that I see a party of one in hand.
I also see a Fashion Week.
I love Fashion Week, but then again,
I know.
I might be a little biased.
Maybe. All right, so it looks like it might be DJ on the play here. So Skitter. Nope, it's actually going to be Applejack on the play.
Okay, so here's the thing: Applejack versus Vinyl. Assuming Skitter has 45 cards, which I think is actually a foolish assumption in our case,
Right.
and has 3 Snips and Snails, there's, I want to say, a 75% chance to get that Snips and Snails. Oh well, if that's a Trixie though, that might not be a problem, but Vinyl has a high chance of actually getting that Snips and Snails and blowing up that problem before Applejack can challenge.
Yeah, especially when he's on the draw here. He'll be able to flip Vinyl this turn.
He'll have now if one of those is Glimmer though, then that's not a problem.
Oh, he was on the play. He's got the 2 from previous
he's got 4, yes.
All right, so we're going to...
So if I had Snips and Snails in my hand or in the top 2 cards in my deck, I would play it.
This is very unusual. Choosing not to flip DJ against Applejack.
I think he's afraid one of them is Nightmare Moon.
That may be the case, but even still, don't you have to fear the Deep Darkness? I guess not. Okay, so now he knows he can safely flip.
Yes.
If we don't see a flip this time, I'll be shocked.
It looked like he was afraid of the Nightmare Moon.
Okay.
Or he was hoping it was a Nightmare Moon. I've done that myself. Intentionally not flipped Vinyl, expecting Nightmare Moon, and lo and behold, it was Nightmare Moon.
Nightmare Moon. Always expect her.
Well, you have to as a combo player.
I don't know if he's playing combo. I'm seeing party of one here. I think this is...
no, he's not. But when I did it,
gotcha.
I was fearing it as a combo player.
That's fair. So a cardboard box would be a great play here.
A cardboard box or Snips and Snails.
So, yep, Snips and Snails even better. Because then not only are you trashing your opponent's Epic Troublemaker, but you're also negating the 2 AT they spent to move AJ.
Right. Yeah, because cardboard box, I would still challenge. Even though I would lose, I would flip my AJ, get wreck online and all that. Ooh, a Sapphire Shores. That turns off the double flip at the very least.
Damsel, nice.
Oh, well, that also turns that off. He has 1 action token left.
Mm-hmm. And that Damsel will almost certainly be replaced with Cracking the Case when that releases.
Not necessarily. He might...
Sorry, I think we lost you there.
I'm not sure I would do that. Yeah, I'm not sure I would do that in Vinyl, but for Octavia, I think I would actually run both.
And a Seabreeze's Flower being discarded amongst something else. 1 AT banked on Vinyl side.
Yes. No, I think that's Flower and the Damsel. I don't think there's another card in this discard.
Now here's a question for you. If you're AJ, yep, I think this is the right play. I think you leave AJ there, you don't move her away, because you want to disincentivize your opponent starting a problem face-off. Although you wouldn't be able to anyway, because you wouldn't be confronting.
Yeah. Plus, this Troublemaker will frighten the Sapphire Shores and allow for the double flip.
Right.
Is that a Cold Wave in hand, or is that a Cleaning Up?
Can't tell from this angle.
I think it's Cleaning Up.
Cleaning Up definitely a better option here for Skitter. He's got the wreck for it.
Well, it doesn't do terribly much right here. Though Cold Wave... No, Cold Wave wouldn't either unless Sapphire Shores moved.
No, he wouldn't have the wreck for Cold Wave.
I think that's what I would do as well.
Move, take a point.
Take a point, yeah. Yeah, this is a thing that Vinyl can do. I know a lot of people forget, but she can confront problems. And in Control, she does that a lot more than you might think.
Real Trixie and find Sapphire Shores.
Okay, so we've got a Trixie down, so Snips and Snails there is going to be offline.
Yeah, so we're looking at 3 versus 6 and double flip.
That's an Appaloosa and the Brave and the Bold.
So that's
this is
11. Oh no, that was 12 versus 10. Yes.
Yeah.
Forgot Brave and the Bold was actually a 5.
Yeah, this is far more the traditional Applejack list that we've seen in set 6, running a lot of those extra flip events.
It does have 4 available to her. 5 if you want to count Double Trouble as well. So, but that one does cost 2.
It does. I've seen a few decks running 1 or 2 copies though. Yep, move AJ over. Slap another TM down. I'm thinking about it. Says, no, I'm just going to bank.
I mean, this isn't a terribly worrying situation. If you played the Troublemaker, Skitter would definitely not uncover that or rally the Sapphire Shores.
Oh, sure.
But by not putting a Troublemaker, he might.
And it's going to be a bailout at start of probably start of main.
Yes, that was specifically at start of main phase. He asked to know when he was going to main phase.
And that's a good call, because then you shut off both the ability to confront that problem unless a bunch of friends come down, or the ability to draw a card.
Bell is kind of scary that way.
But that'll be 1 exhausting trick down, potentially up to 8 more.
It could be more than that.
Realistically.
For all you know, there's white in that deck. And F stops.
I hope there's white in that deck. I still want to see AJ's hat do work.
I've ran it before.
I have too. It's been fun.
Cat.
DJ's thinking here.
Yep. So just banking. Is that a wake up?
We've seen a couple Seabreeze's Flowers be discarded. And that's not necessarily a bad call, since you've already seen an Appaloosa flipped and haven't seen any other friends hit the field yet. It's a Prim Hemline.
Okay. That's another Prim Hemline, in fact. That was the second one he's flipped. So once AJ is at 7, I tend to consider her at critical mass.
Right. 9 if you want to really be safe, but 7's pretty safe as well.
Or something.
Once she hits 7, you're dealing with a mod that's actually just stronger.
Right.
Poor mod.
So 4 versus 1, looking to be 5.
Yeah, and he'll take the 1 for confronting there. Now DJ is not going to ready here because bailout does make you skip the next turn. So that's actually 2 potential draws shut down from Skitter.
Yes. Yeah, that bailout just to deny the draws is interesting. It's kind of risky because you don't have it for later. But if you're just trying to accelerate out, oh ho!
I recognize that card.
So that will be 5 versus 7. But Skitter's the one who has 2 flips.
Yes, indeed.
Since Crystal Pie is worded a little
Each color.
strangely. Yeah.
And that's going to be a Castle of Friendship and a Discord. And I think you just bring Discord into play here. You're already tied. You're already tied on the flip versus popping corn with the castle, and then that's going to give you the other 4 that you need. So, yeah, I see no reason to not just do it.
Well, yes, that puts him 1 ahead right now. Yes. But there are
2 ahead. He's at 12. But there's Brave and the Bold.
Yep.
And a Nightmare Moon flip.
Oof.
Not what you want to see.
Giving the opponent the point to the break point.
And not just
So
the break
now-
points, but also another Diligent too.
Yeah, and the 2 diligent. But yeah, so AJ's going to get the extra AT first. Oof.
That is
Got rid of his social obligations. That is an unfortunate turn of events.
Now, cheering up a friend is a pretty good flip here for Skitter.
Yes. AJ cannot confront that, no matter how big she gets.
Especially not with this style of the deck. We do see a single
I
copy of
see a
Nightmare
pile
Moon.
of presents in hand.
Yeah, I see Pile, I see Nightmare Moon. I think I see an Appaloosa. Matt kind of partitioning out his AT so he can figure out what he's going to do on his turn.
Yep. I've done it myself many a time, especially when I'm at like 11 AT, trying to figure out how to score 14 points in 1 turn with my RTOs.
All right, there you go. There's 2. Drop a Troublemaker. 3. And a Carbo Loader.
And the pile. So that's the first friend Applejack has played so far.
And quite possibly one of the only ones in the deck.
Right.
Maybe Iron Will, maybe Deep Darkness. We'll have to see.
Mm-hmm. So,
Now, in doing this,
What do you do here? Go for it.
So I was going to say, this is a little bit interesting, because in doing this, he's actually spent all his AT. So none of his event tricks are going to be online. So you might push for the face-off here, but you can't.
But he can't. Yes.
Well, not reliably, anyway. He's only got 6 AT. He would need some kind of crazy shenanigans to get enough friends to confront over there. Cardboard Box is a good play, though.
Well, yeah.
But it can still.
I think
Still
Matt's-
does have 3 flips, though.
Yeah, he does. Although I'm expecting the move of Sapphire Shores up there. Although even that won't
Well, that would
necessarily
just
help.
get frightened.
Mm.
So, and if you were going to do that, I would unfrighten the one that's already there.
He doesn't have one there that's frightened. I don't
Oh,
believe.
he has a dressed up in hand, so I think we're going to see dressed up hit that carbo loader.
That'd be a good play. And that's
Oh, I think he was hoping that Matt would use the pile so he could challenge Discord versus Applejack with his Fashion Week and get a point.
Mm.
Final sight. Pile in an orange deck has happened. It was actually very popular back with Mod because Mod needed the resources. It's a lot less popular in AJ, but it's just run as a way of countering Vinyl.
So now, if you're AJ here, which of these resources are you more concerned with getting off?
Cardboard box.
Yeah, with Applejack being as big as she is right now, I'd absolutely agree. Had she been a little bit smaller, you might have tried to push for the carbo loader.
Mm-hmm. Now, Skitter still has 4 action tokens. He could move up Discord to just score 1 point here. Frightening Discord, but he is 4 points behind.
Yep, and if his opponent doesn't have an AJ's Epiphany in hand, being able to get a Discord at a problem with Trixie is one of my favorite tricks.
Interesting. He dressed up his Discord so he had the rec to play
Wake up
call.
Yep.
Interesting play here.
Probably a pretty good move. And also gets Discord up to the, tremendous 8 power that it can have.
Tremendous 8 power, yes. Is that a yoink? That looks like a yoink and a damsel.
That is a damsel for sure, and that is also a yoink.
So 0 versus 7 with 2 cards.
He's just going to go ahead and yoink the carbo loader. I'm not sure if I would have done that here. I might have saved yoink until his opponent played AJ's Epiphany. Oh, and flipping 2 of them. Ooh, that's rough.
I'm not happy in that position if I'm Applejack.
No, I'm very upset.
Oh, I think I think he yoinked it to turn off the pile of presents, actually. Since pile does need a friend to let him draw cards.
Yeah, I see another AJ's carbo loader in hand though.
Yeah, but he didn't know that.
No, he didn't. Well, why not? Why didn't he have precognitive sight? Come on, Skinner, get with it.
Using dice to figure out which card to discard.
Yeah. As
Goodbye,
it should be.
damsel. Goodbye, damsel.
Goodbye, damsel.
So you move Discord up that Nightmare Moon, right?
Oh, you've got to. There's no way you don't.
So there's an Earth Pony.
Oh, there's another Earth Pony.
Nope, that's a Crystal Pony.
Oh, that's true. Before we had multiple traits, like Earth Pony Alicorn.
I mean, we had Earth Pony Critter in the very first set.
Yes, that was more a joke than anything.
Yeah. Well, they decided intentionally not to put traits on the Crystal Ponies because almost all of them are Earth Ponies.
Yeah, that may have been a
Aside
little
from
strong.
the main 6.
Can you imagine Pinkie Pie crystallized alongside a carbo loader deck?
Carbo Loader?
Maybe a little
maybe.
strong. Here's the D4. Looks like a 1. And it's another pile. Not a great discard for Skitter.
No. Matt liked it. So you play the Carbo Loader, right? And you move the Applejack up. No, or do you play the Carbo Loader to the Nightmare Moon, actually?
Maybe?
Because right now, Skitter is looking at 3 flips and 5 power.
I don't know
Versus
if you
7.
play the carbo loader there. Playing the
If you
Prim
play
headline.
this... Ah.
You were white.
And
You
the
were-
Carbo Loader?
Yeah, you
so
were-
now he says, I defy your multiple flips.
Spins 2, moves AJ up.
That's a lot of flips.
It's a few flips. And spins 1 and plays another troublemaker.
No, did he... Oh, he's just repositioning the cardboard box. Okay.
DJ is ready. That's a Snips and Snails. We'll have to see if that sticks around.
So he's not going to win that face-off if he challenges.
No, and I don't think he does here. I think he just plays the Snips and Snails.
Ooh, was that a yoink that just got discarded?
It was.
If it was Yoink, then I absolutely would have challenged. I would have blown up that carbo loader and not
Immediately.
let him do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're still at Applejack's still flipping 2 cards to you then.
They're both flipping 2 cards, though.
That's true. Looks like popping corn. Another popping corn. Flipping all the doubles here.
Mm-hmm.
So do you snips and snails here?
Does he have Snips and Snails in hand?
Yeah, he drew it for the turn.
No. Probably. Because that's 3 points. He does have the Fashion Week, so he might try challenging Pinky versus the exhausted carbo loader. 3 plus 2 flips versus 0 plus 2 flips. Because of the Prim hemline.
Right, of course.
Aha! Now he definitely does it. Because that would be 3 versus 0. I have 2 flips, you have 1 flip.
Right. Yeah, it definitely does this. Okay, so he'll snips and snails
So
first.
blow it up. Mm-hmm. Still plenty of time to flip that or play that.
Is that Call of the Cutie?
I believe so.
Lets him get additional power counters.
Yeah.
No, that's Hay Bale Monster Stack. I'm sorry. Yeah, we've got to see the Fashion Week here. There's no better time.
There's no better time. Exactly.
And there it is.
Yes.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and a Rolling Tones.
Oh, but by challenging carbo loader, he could.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. If he had AT, he could play double flip cards because he challenged carbo loader.
That's true. One of those rare situations where it's not even on the main.
Uh-huh. But I think he's pretty far low though right now.
Oh yeah, he's facing down. I believe Rolling Tones is at
11.
flip. Yeah.
Yeah. He would need a 7 to tie.
Oh, you flipped RPS. That's why I thought.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll be a point to Skitter,
Yes.
which would have been a much more attractive point had you also kept the Yoink in hand.
A little bit. Well, he would have had the extra friend though, so he would have been able to flip the other card. But it would have been hard to say. So you move Discord up and score that point, right?
Yeah. You take that
Do
point.
you move Pinky too? No, I don't think you do. I think you just...
Well, I don't know if you move Discord up and score that point because you've got the face down Epic there.
Oh, right.
I think you
Forgot about that.
I think you probably don't want to do that.
So that's 3 points for Skitter now. He's only 3 points behind.
Oh, and it
Better
is a Trixie.
situation. Oh,
Now, see, this is a situation where moving Discord actually would have been kind of nice.
kind of, but it still would have been frightened.
It would have, and you would have needed to wait a turn anyway.
Yeah, and it would have been 1 less power.
Mhm.
So I think he was correct in waiting.
Yeah, as long as he can keep AJ out of that problem, which I'm not sure if he can. Pink-white is not known
So-
for its forced movement.
Snips and snails.
Not going to work.
Nope.
Conrad made that mistake before.
Oh, I believe it. Trixie is annoying.
We've got it on camera. Sure, you've got a deep darkness there. That won't do anything.
I mean, it's 2 power, and he can flip 2 additional cards from this carbo loader.
Sure.
and then he'll start shutting down Trixie, or not Trixie, Vinyl. Well, I guess you don't shut down Vinyl in that case. So this is interesting, though. Now we know there were Deep Darknesses in this deck. So the fact that he didn't take that turn 2 flip was risky.
Yes, it was. And again, Deep Darkness is one of those cards that you really are just expecting to see in an AJ deck. It's one of those few friends like Carbo Loader that just provides so much value.
Mm-hmm. Well, some AJ decks don't run it because of the 2 power.
Yeah, but you're running so many flips.
So we missed something important a while ago. The Prim Hemline played, that's the first white card we've seen on Jay's side here.
No, we mentioned that.
What white cards are they running?
So if you're running Prim Hemline, there's the possibility that we could see something like Photo Op for additional control. You might see AJ's Hat. It's also possible you're just running Prim Hemline in order to have one of the best
the 4.
Yeah.
Ooh, Party of 1. And he chose Discord, his 8 power pink and white friend.
That's certainly the one to do.
Was expensive, though.
Yes, it was, but he still got the 2 to move Discord up.
Oh, yeah. That is absolutely the correct call here.
Yeah, you're sitting there looking at the rest of the board.
Yeah, 8 versus 6.
You still even got the 1 AT left for the wake up call.
He's got 2 AT left for the wake up call, so yeah.
So he does.
He's in a great spot now.
So now you're looking at confront Trixie, score 2, or challenge Trixie, score 2.
If he
confront
wins.
the problem, score 1.
He could still lose.
He could. It's not super likely, but he might. If AJ's holding onto a double trouble or something, perhaps. But it looks like I see
Well, the
another
wake
epic
up call.
troublemaker.
The wake up call will stop that.
Yeah, I actually see a big...
That's a Princess Big Mac.
It is a Princess Big Mac and a second Trixie.
Aha! So he can get that extra flip if he needs it.
Yeah, that's a good call. And he might. Well, we'll have to see, though, if... Oh,
I think I would have moved one more counter just to be super safe.
Is that a Rolling Tones I see in Skitter's hand?
If it is, that's bad times for Matt. So challenging Trixie.
Looks like started...
Up.
Oh, no, that's going to be flips. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty handily defeated there.
Well...
Ooh, time just being called. Skitter can go up to 6, and he went first. So all Matt needs to do is score 1 point.
Yeah, Skitter's going to need...
Unless Skitter has some tricks.
Skitter's going to need a photo op or something along those lines.
A Fashion Week would help.
Fashion Week would be helpful. There's a stack of suitcases. I am excited to see that card again.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a close one, though.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to be fun.
This is why moving more counters to Big Mac would have been helpful here. Because you could just flip.
Yep, so we're going to be going into the last turn here, 6v6.
Yeah, this is the very last turn, 6 versus 6.
We may actually end up with a draw here.
Yeah, it all comes down to this face-off.
So that's
Is
9
that
versus
10
10.
versus 9?
Yeah, he just missed it.
So that's a draw.
Yeah, very unusual.
Yeah, there's actually no way around this. This is a draw.
No?
All right.
All right, there you go. Well, congratulations to both our
Final
players.
game, we got a draw.
No, you do not keep going.
We can't do that. We have to. It's a tie. We can't do anything about it.
That's how the game. That's how we ended that. That's it.
All right.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Well then.
That's quite the
So-
unusual ending.
I'm confident enough that my deck split average is higher than you. Maybe a little.
So that would so that's it for Harmony. We are hoping stick around for a little bit, guys. We are hoping to maybe be able to speak with some of the top 8. I've asked our cat if he could get some of them on stream for us, but you know, this is a con. I'm sure some of them have things they want to go do or people they want to see or whatever. So I don't think we're going to be able to talk to all 8. Maybe 1 or 2. We'll see what's happening, but stick around while we see what's going on there. At the very least, we can probably get you the names of our top 8. And of course, at the this isn't our only event today.
Oh no. We are very excited to be able to actually commentate on the first, to the best of my knowledge, streamed block tournament.
Well, we did stream a block tournament at Babs. There was just no commentation.
Was that one streamed?
I believe it was.
I'm not sure Babs' block was streamed.
Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was.
It was planned, but I don't think it actually went through.
Ah, okay.
But that's very interesting. So let's take a brief moment to reflect while we wait to see if we can get top 8s on interviews here. What's your favorite deck you've seen so far? No bias.
We didn't really get to see terribly much of Skitter's deck, so I think I'm going to have to go with the Bluna Purple deck.
The blue and purple was definitely interesting. I have to say, I loved seeing Zipperwill. That thing was just silly. And I'm sure you loved seeing it as well, having been the designer of it.
Yes. I like I've said before, I have ranted and raved about Zipperwill before, and the thing that I'm especially pleased about seeing it do well is a lot of people for a long time have been going, yellow is the worst color. No one should be playing yellow. Yellow is a complete joke compared to the other 5 colors. And part of the intent of Zipperwill was, like I said, I was intending to bring it to Everfree. Part of the intent was me going, no, yellow is still good. Now, I'm not going to say that it might still be weaker than the other 5 colors. It might, but it has the tools to combat them, and it has... Well, like, Zipperwill by herself is probably one of the strongest multicolor cards in the game right now.
If we're counting the legal ones.
No, it decreases it.
Yes, the legal ones.
Or the ones post-errata.
That too. I said one of.
Yes, you did. That's true.
But yes. But yeah, the purple-blue deck, I really, really like... I like seeing new twists on things that I've seen before, right? So that was not my traditional Bluna deck. All of the Applejack decks that I saw today, I've seen them before. And I'm not saying don't play Applejack. Applejack is a very good main. If she fits your playstyle, absolutely play that. But as a viewer, I have seen her many, many times. So I like seeing the more innovative things of the purple-blue, for example. Or
Sure.
Blue-purple, rather. My mistake.
Right, the blue-purple. Or even some of the various... I loved seeing Fluttershy Friend to Animals come back. I expected that
Yes.
card would be pretty strong with set 7 with some of the tools that it's getting, but to see it come back even before then, just with the rules change, is exciting.
So a thing about Lunatic is friend to animals. He really likes the interaction between friend to animals and splashed critters, like Tank, for example, right?
Okay.
Which we saw. We saw Tank and we saw Skunk. These were both critters that were not, at least not entirely yellow. So you can use friend to animals. So you like for the 3/2 rec that you can move a critter to, right? Come here, little ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you flip that, you move Tank there for free, then you pay 1 to move Fluttershy there, and suddenly you confronted that problem for one. Well, when you only have yellow critters, moving Fluttershy there is overkill.
Right. Yeah, definitely an interesting play. And
Yeah, so
or definitely an interesting play strategy, I should say.
yes, so I really like that. And honestly, with the new rules, I honestly think friend animals benefits highly from it because friend animals actually, the more that you can use her to move to problems for cheap, the better. And when more face-offs happen, that's going to happen more frequently. So I kind of think we might see friend animals with either a white or a blue splash, or maybe even pink if the new cards support that well enough. I think we might see her come back in some aggro decks.
That's possible. Now we saw Skunk appear twice actually in
Two different decks, yes.
right in Reformer and in Friend to Animals. And I can't help but feel like that's players spiting us a little bit for our analysis on Skunk when we were doing spoilers for High Magic.
I think we Well, I know Lunatic was running it because it is a critter specifically.
Sure.
And it's a non-yellow critter.
It is both blue and yellow.
Yeah, so with your fast food and your batons, you can pull that same trick that you can do with Tank.
Right.
Or even a 5 wild wreck works there. For the other deck, the Reformer deck, she was intending to challenge her own troublemakers,
sure.
and using Skunk to make that easier makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Can I poke in here for a little bit?
Yes,
Hello.
we can hear.
Hey, live from the tournament portal. We are going to be prizing out shortly. I will see about getting some top 8 players to have a short interview with you, and after that, we'll see what happens. But for the moment, cut the stream off here. In the meantime, enjoy talking to our commentators.
Excellent, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So while we wait for top 8 interviews, individuals in chat, what decks did you see that you especially liked? What are you hoping to see come up in top 8, and what are you interested in seeing in block?
Well, it looks like Final Sight liked the blue and a purple deck.
I got to agree with him. It was very, very interesting to see those cards used in that manner.
Yes, especially with the portals on the Rutherfords. Like, Rutherford is already a really good card, and turning Portal into effectively just a Rutherford. So I like that. There were some other come-into-play effects, too. There was, Chrysalis, there was Luna. Though portaling Luna isn't terribly great. Pay 2 to gain 1. Unless you're moving her for cheap, I suppose.
Right, more often than not, you're using her other effect.
What else did he have to portal?
Well, he had Zakoras.
Zecora.
Yeah, he had Zecora.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yeah, actually, portaling the Zecora that turns off mains is a way to surprise Applejack players.
Sure.
It's like, because they uncover their villain, and then they challenge, and then you go, oh, whoops, here's Zecora. You can't just play Zecora there because she'll get frightened.
Right. But that is definitely a trick that could be used.
Oh, there was the Spitfire. We saw that great portaling Spitfire play as well.
That was a cool one. That was very unique. Definitely makes sense, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to double check. I believe we've seen something in set 7 relatively similar.
The event?
Yes. Okay, good. That has been spoiled.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting. You know all the spoilers and I don't. Or you know all the non-spoilers, rather.
What do you mean?
The cards that have not yet been spoiled because you're on playtesting. So you don't know what... It can be a little confusing to you what is spoiled and what isn't.
Yep, I have to be very careful talking about everything here. Suffice it to say, I am really excited for this next set.
So that Sweetie Belle main, you want to give us a little hint as to what she does?
Sweetie Belle main?
Yeah, Sweetie Belle main.
I am unaware of such a thing.
Oh, are you now?
I can neither confirm nor deny the presence of Squeaky Belle.
Uh-huh. Could you imagine the outrage if they only printed 2 of the Cutie Mark Crusaders as mains?
It'd be pretty good. I'd
Yeah.
laugh.
We're so
No, no,
Apple
no,
Bloom,
no, no, no,
Scootaloo,
no, even
and
better.
Babseed.
Yeah, exactly. Just print Babs as the third one and be like, what happened to Sweetie Belle? Who? Erase every mention of Sweetie Belle from the internet. I'm sure that wouldn't take too long.
No. So what time is our block tournament again? What time should people be coming back after our interviews here?
Well, I believe we're going to be doing a brief discussion leading up to that, so we'll be back here about 6:45 or so. Block tournament should be
Yes.
live at 7 p.m. Pacific time, if I'm remembering.
Yeah. So 6:45 if you want to catch us, and 7 if you don't want to listen to us at all and just want to see pony cards.
But why would you not want to listen to us? Our dulcet tones and insightful, clear laughter at the stupid things that Zipperwill did. Who would want to miss that?
I don't know.
Yep, we're just waiting for word from the tournament organizers here as we can figure out which players, if any, are willing to conduct top 8 interviews.
So what are you expecting in block while we are on the topic?
There we go. There's a good question. Okay, so block Bluna, absolutely, 100%, still very strong. Point acceleration is key, as I was talking about while you were gone, and one of the few ways you can do that in block is with Night Glider overpowering, so I fully expect to see that.
Yeah. Do you expect to see Applejack?
With as few epics as we have right now, I don't. I would more likely expect to see Muffin Mare. Yeah.
I do as well, though I've not played very many block games, and I have heard people swear by AJ. So I could be entirely wrong here. But I personally prefer Muffin Mare in block.
I agree. As far as Pink goes, I really don't think there's anything that Pink can do with block alone. Lyra has some potential in a Harmony format, but Pinkie Pie is just a little bit too weak right now.
But you're forgetting a Pink main.
Thinking. We've seen Lyra, we've seen Pinkie Pie.
And Queen Chrysalis.
It's not Pink.
So, Queen Chrysalis, I think, is actually... Queen Chrysalis, I think, in block anyway, I think Queen Chrysalis is best as Pink, because you have access to Torch Song, who can help you out by, in an emergency, find your 1 copy of Ponytones. Sorry, not Pony... backup vocals. If for some reason your opponent refuses to flip your Chrysalis. Otherwise, you're typically going to get a free flip off of Chrysalis, and then you've got Pink and another color.
This is true. Yep, if you're going to play Chrysalis in block, she's probably going to be there as Pink. Although we did see a yellow Chrysalis, which was also interesting.
Yes, the yellow-white Chrysalis. I believe he's there on site. I don't know if he's playing, but I believe he is there. Sokol.
Okay. Moving from there, I am actually a tremendous fan of Rarity, Ambassador of Generosity, in block as well as the primary white, even over Octavia. Though a different deck style.
Yes, but interestingly enough, she's a lot better with the new rules.
She is. She is much better with the new rules because instead of your opponent getting dramatically ahead of you in a single turn, they can actually just be a single point ahead, which will trigger Rarity,
and then
giving
you
the
get
lead.
2,
right?
And you're in the lead. Yes,
exactly. Plus, she lends herself very well to a control style, and with the problems that we have in set 5 and set 6. Tyler and myself actually tested block Bluna versus block Rarity control, mono white control, trying to figure out which one was there, and Rarity came in a very close second to Bluna. In fact, Cheese ended up running the Rarity block deck that we built at the block at BabsCon and came in second.
Oh, very nice. Very, very nice.
When you've got access to Trixie and Photo Finish and Cold Wave and Wake Up Call and Uh-Oh and Harsh Judge and Opalescence and all those tools, it can get pretty miserable.
And so, we can't forget purple.
No, we cannot forget purple. There are enough ways to flip Princess Twilight.
Yes. You don't see most of them in block because you typically just prefer ancient research, but there is the minuet that helps you flip, and of course there's also, you can use Zecora to put a paper Twilight into play. If you can somehow get 4 purple rec, you can scope things out. There's a lot of ways.
You can Aloysius.
But yes, of course there's Aloysius as well, yes. There's also the 3-cost Meticulous one that is just almost always worse than Aloysius. Amethyst Star, I believe? Yes.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Yes, the 3-1-2 Meticulous one. In fact, just absolutely 100% worse than Aloysius.
More or less, yes.
There is no Unicorn Tribal synergy in block. It is 3 cost for the same power with a requirement.
There are, however, critters. There is critter synergy.
There is critter synergy,
as we have seen today.
Yeah, I wonder. We looked at building a zipperable control in block, and I think it can definitely work.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's not just that. There's also fast food. I believe those are the only 2 critter matter cards right now, though.
Conductor's Baton.
That is cost.
Oh, you're referring to specifically critter matters. Yes.
Yes. Though Conductor's Baton does not buff Amethyst Star, so technically it is relevant.
It's not the only critter matters cards. The other card that is...
there's Kratos. Of course, how could I forget Kratos?
Yeah, Kratos is quite good as well.
And Kratos is actually really relevant because, like you mentioned, point acceleration. He's one of the few ways of doing that. And he's not even an ultra rare.
No, he's not. He's just a basic rare.
Yeah, and then there's, of course, Saving the Day at blue-yellow. There's Back in Black. There's Storm of Justice. So this is an interesting one. There's Solo Performance.
Yes, there is Solo Performance, and that can be a bit unusual.
It is 2 costs for 1 point and very situationally, but a point is a point.
I actually have been looking at Solo Performance, especially at the time Dilemmas come out.
Well, Solo Performance is actually a rather amusing finisher in a very joke combo deck that uses Premier Philomena as part of the engine.
Ah, yes.
I really appreciate Nation working on that one. He had that engine before, and
go on.
The basic premise of it is you use bursts of speeds, trender hoofs, and at the time bulk biceps. So I don't know if it works anymore. To during a problem face-off, score infinite points because you just keep playing Solo Performance during that face-off over and over and over and over again. Hello.
Okay, let's see. I've got a handful of people from top 8 who are willing to do a short interview. So I will turn them over to you and be nice.
Okay.
We will be very nice, yes. Except Taponka, if he's there.
Hello to our top 8 players. Are you there?
I'm sure he's going over the details with them or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
And to whom are we speaking with?
Eric Moore, also known as Prime Color.
Eric, welcome and congratulations on making top 8.
Thank you.
What were you playing?
I was playing Mono Purple Twilight Ambassador.
Mono
And
Purple.
how did that work for you?
4-1, only deck I lost to. I didn't really get my action points out, but how the deck really works is put a lot of cards on top of the deck, power up your Moon Dancers, and go for problems.
Makes sense.
Got it, yeah. We were talking about Moon Dancer before, but wasn't in that particular deck.
Mm-hmm. I do enjoy being able to get Moon Dancer's power to just stupid levels doing that, though, so that sounds like that was a lot of fun. What was your favorite match so far that you've played?
Well, pretty much every deck I won against was Applejack decks, so they're all pretty much the same.
Oh, what did you lose to then?
I lost to a Fluttershy.
Fluttershy, okay.
Okay.
We saw
With
2
the-
Fluttershys, so was it Friend Animals or?
Yes, I believe it was Friends of Animals.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. If you had to pick your 3 favorite cards in your deck, what would you say they would be?
Moon Dancer, definitely. Princess Twilight Sparkle, the Power Pony one, and then Zap, or Rainbow Dash
Now,
Zap.
now
Oh,
so you're playing
you're running
Mono
her-
Purple. Go ahead.
Just for the chaos?
Right, for the Chaos. I use Scopings out, draw 4 cards, put 3 back on top, put the Zap on top, and then flip that and frighten everything.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, we've seen that trick. It's been pretty strong when it's come up. It came up in one of the games on stream here as well.
Yes. Yes.
If you were to make any changes to your deck based on what you've seen today, what would you do?
Actually, I made all my changes last night with what I saw here, so as of right now, I wouldn't pretty much change anything.
Well, great.
Okay. What do you think your chances are tomorrow in top 8?
Well, I'm second place here, and I know the first player's deck, and it's extremely horrible. So he's pretty much the only one I'm worried about.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we will.
So,
yeah, we'll certainly wish you the best of luck tomorrow.
Maybe we'll see you on stream.
Maybe so.
Thank you very much,
Well,
Eric.
thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And I'll grab the next person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we didn't see him on stream, so hopefully we'll get a chance tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be a good one to see. I like Mono Purple Control. I have a thing for Moon Dancer as a card. Had to clarify that. Do not ship me.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the bookish types, isn't it?
Hello, it's Feathers.
Hello, Feathers!
Who are you again?
It's me, Feathers.
Feathers. I don't know any Feathers.
I don't think we've ever met. How are you, Feathers?
Hi, Feathers. So we saw you on stream.
How are you? Yes. That was ironically the only game I lost.
So you're also 4-1.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your deck. Obviously, we saw what it did, but let's hear it in your words.
Alright, well, basically, it's just a standard villain farming deck with more control options. So, essentially, I just want to get a Starlight Glimmer in my opening hand and a villain, and then just go from there. Depending on what my opponent's playing, I will either try and just only use Applejack and play no friends, so that nothing to interrupt me, or I will just put some Carbos out, put some Princess Big Mac out, Iron Wills, and then just like hold up for it behind Popping Corns and Bailouts and Epiphanies. And I've got some Trickies in there. It's pretty much standard villain farm. And I've also got
the Flam and Flams.
Yeah, Deep Darkness and Flim and Flam. I don't think there's actually any pile deck here, so Deep Darkness is kind of like, I don't know, it's annoying sometimes, but
No, that's
Flim
a
and
bummer.
Flam though. Flim and Flam have been
Yeah, we saw how well
pretty
it was
important.
doing against that purple-blue deck.
Yeah, it gives me enough time. Sometimes you only need one or two more turns. I didn't get as lucky as I needed to get in that particular match, but it's been very helpful so far.
Oh yeah.
Now that's a bit of a less traditional AJ build in that it goes a little heavier on the friends instead of the events, which a lot of them tend to run. Is there any particular reason you chose that type of a list?
If you get cardboard boxed, then you don't win.
Good answer.
Like, that's pretty much the number one fear, I guess, for playing the kind of deck where you only have like one or two other friends besides your main, is that you will just not be able to fight anything and therefore won't be able to get points. So that was the only reason, really. Like, as you saw, AJ was pretty buff, but I had a game where I got cardboard boxed. She had no power, and I still won face-offs because I had the Carbos and Iron Wills and everything else. So
Right.
it was definitely the right call, I think, for my deck in particular.
Makes sense.
So I know that at one point you were playing with an orange-white build. Why didn't you play that here?
It had to do with how comfortable I was with the deck, I think. I think I was trying to do too much with that white-orange build, where I was leaning more towards the control than the farming, because sometimes I would focus too much on trying to get the photo finishes out at home, and just like set up behind a troublemaker, and it doesn't work as well as just buffing everything up and going in. It's just a much simpler build. There were no like bailouts. I didn't have clipped wings. I just find that it's much easier to play this monocolor deck with what I have.
Got it.
So
Probably what you're most comfortable with. I completely understand that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you, knowing the field that you're up against tomorrow, if you could make any changes to your deck, what would you do, and what do you think your odds are of being able to make it to first place?
Actually, knowing what else is in the top cut, I don't think I would change anything about my deck. I was pretty successful against the other people that I played against who are also in cut, except for, of course, the one that was on stream that I lost. But I can't remember if he cut, actually. Anyway, the only thing that I'm worried about that might prevent me from getting first place is, of course, Zipperwell. I have a tough time against Zipperwell. But hopefully I will avoid him for a little while. I'm not sure who it is that I'm playing against in the first round, but Zipperwell is really my only, I think, at this point.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to seeing how you do tomorrow.
Yep. Best of luck to you, Feathers.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Should I get Pinky on?
If you would, please.
Whoever's next, yeah.
Sure. Be right back.
So we're going to harass him endlessly, right?
Maybe.
I've got a good way to start this.
Hello.
Is this
Hi.
Bonkapo?
Yeah, it is.
3 missed prepared triggers, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, shush. I know
Congratulations.
this was gonna come up.
Of course you did. You had to know.
I mean, I made so many other mistakes, like that one troublemaker that just stood there forever and never flipped.
To be fair, we forgot about that too.
Yep. So we can't blame you for that one. But Bugle spotted the preparers, so we have to ream you endlessly about that now.
Yes, we caught the prepared many, many times.
Well, I got them like after the fact usually.
Yeah.
Usually.
Well, congratulations on making it to top 8. Tell us a little bit
Thanks.
about this abomination you were running.
So I didn't make this. This is Bugle's fault. Well, I think it's his fault and someone else's, but it pretty much just it's Zipple.deck. You play Zipple pretty much anywhere. It operates from anywhere, and you can like use Rise and Shine or some other critters and just Rise and Shine, play that as an immediate, move their critters home from pretty much using from Zippo from pretty much anywhere, like Interdimensional Portal, Verbal, and it just has like a lot of answers to a lot of different things. And then you just recur this over and over with F-stop auto finish, lets you win the game faster so you don't lose the time. It's a really dumb deck.
So we saw, how many was it? 21 snakes? Puppies?
Yeah, 21 snakes.
Snick.deck.
Yes.
Snick.
We need, I think you need more snicks.
Yeah, I only bought 9 of those tokens because I thought that's all I needed, but
Ha!
it apparently wasn't.
Clearly.
To be fair, like 6 or 8 of the ones at the end there were just you having fun.
Yeah, I didn't need those, but still,
Still, yeah, absolutely.
I
So-
needed more snakes.
So you've obviously had a successful run so far. What would you say your favorite cards in the deck are overall, other than
Well-
Zipperwill, of course?
Yeah, I was gonna like Zipperwell. Let's see. Rise and Shine is like a key. It's probably the best part of the deck apart from Zipperwell because it's one cost, and with Zip, well, it's pretty much one cost immediate to their character's home, which is extremely strong. If you have two Zipperwells there, then it just becomes ridiculous. Because I think I did that on the game on stream.
You did.
Yeah. Two Zipperwells, one cost, move a friend's home. It's just absolutely insane.
Okay. Knowing the field that you've seen going into top 8, would you make any changes to the deck? I know it's not your list, but did you see anything you'd rather run or have a toolbox in there?
Well, knowing what actually is going to be in top 8, I don't need the Rest in Pieces in my deck and the Beavers in my deck were mostly tech against Pile of Presence decks, but
Right.
apparently there is 0 Pile of Presence deck in this entire tournament. So I don't know how necessary they are, but the Rest in Pieces definitely aren't necessary. Those are only tech against Pile of Presence. But Beavers is still probably useful because Beavers hits a lot of things like fast foods and like study sessions and whatever, even though I don't care about study session.
Okay.
Pretty much I would just take out Rest in Pieces.
Okay. Well,
So I have one last question for you.
Sure.
Is the deck overwhelming to run?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, it looked like you had a lot of decisions you had to make at any given point. Like, did you feel you had too many decisions?
Yeah, this deck is definitely not the easiest deck to run. I would like to have more preparation, and this is definitely the first tournament I run. I ran like 2 practice games with this deck, and that was it. So there's definitely a lot of things that can go. There's a lot of decisions at any given time, and it's just definitely not an easy deck to run, but it's just really powerful and overwhelming. Once you have the lockdown, it becomes really hard for your opponent to do anything about it.
okay. Well, we will wish you the best of luck going into top 8 tomorrow, Punka.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you very much.
Do we have anyone else, or are you the last one?
I'll ask.
Okay.
Oh, apparently Feathers wants to say something.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, okay, I forgot to say something. I'd like to thank Celine for suggesting that I use Flim and Flam because I wouldn't have done it otherwise, and they've been super helpful. So, thank you, Celine.
There you go.
Absolutely, yeah. Flim Flam is very powerful.
There's your shout
All
out.
right, I'll check to see if anyone else is going to come on.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Feathers.
Do you guys want to interview random people?
Who?
Just random people? There's like people in here? I don't know. Ericat told me to ask.
I think we're just going to go for the top 8 right now.
Yes.
Just for top 8. Hang on. No, they all left and went to get food before
Yeah.
Carpalooza.
Yeah.
That makes absolute sense. So.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Feathers.
Anything else?
hungry.
Anyone? Yeah.
Some of us are hungry. That took a long time.
Yes. This
Yeah,
is
but-
weird. He's talking next.
We've actually.
I'm going now.
That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Good luck.
Well, thank you. Well, that's it for Harmony Swiss. Join us again in approximately 4 hours, I believe?
Yep,
Yes,
4
4
hours.
hours for Block at 6:45 Pacific time. Block, the proper tournament will start at 7. We're going to hop on a little bit early, of course. And that is scheduled to run until about midnight. I think this event ended a little bit early, so maybe Block will end a little early as well.
Yeah, it looks like things have been running very smoothly there. So thank you once again to RCAT and everyone there at Everfree for putting on such a smooth event. And thank you, chat
Right.
and viewers, for bearing with us while we had a bit of a streaming frame rate issue at the beginning there.
Yes,
Hopefully that did get improved as time went along.
From what I saw from chat, it did look better later on, so that's good. So now, if you are not interested in block or simply can't make block, we will also be on tomorrow. We're hoping to be on at about 9:45 in the morning to commentate on a draft. There's a slight chance that this won't happen. We will try our best to keep you guys informed. Watch my Twitter or the Reddit or Facebook. We'll keep you guys as informed as we can. And of course, Harmony Top 8 will be tomorrow at noon. And we'll definitely be here for that.
Absolutely. For now, though, thank you everyone for joining us for this first part of our weekend stream. And thank you for helping us celebrate our 1-year anniversary, as we said.
Yes.
If you like the type of content that we're producing here, feel free to leave us a message. You can send us an email to commentaryismagicteam@gmail.com. And if you really like the stream and want to show your support, we also have a donate button on our Twitch channel as well. Anything is appreciated.
Yes. It does cost a little bit for our on-site guys to get the data plans for this, so we would appreciate it. But if you can't do it or whatever, don't feel pressured into it. It would just help us offset our own personal costs a little bit.
For now, though, we'll look forward to seeing you back here at about 6:45 Pacific. Until then,
Right.
I'm Grandpaws.
And I'm Emperor Bugle.
And we will see you soon.
Later.